Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah, we about to go live here in just a minute here, y'all. Check 1 2. Waiting on some people to enter the room here. I'll get started in just a minute, man. Just give me a second here. Try to pull up some things. We're almost ready to get started, you guys. Y'all missed last night's show, man. It was laid back, but we was getting to that work. You know what I mean? We was getting to that work. We about to get into that work again, though, y'all. We about to get into that work again. Y'all see the title? There we go. Just trying to get this all queued up here. Okay, Walter, I see you, man. I'm about to bring you up right now, my brother, right now. Got some other people I wanted to join the panel here. Hopefully they'll be able to get on. I want to drop the link here in just a minute for the panel. This is just for the people I invited on the panel. So I'm about to drop the link in just a second here. Just give me a minute, though. I'm trying to get some other things set up, too. We about to get started, man. It's about to be a good one. This is about to be a good one. As they say, it's about to go down. Oh yeah, it's about to go down. Hopefully y'all can hear me. My mic is clear. Go over here. go. Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna do a share screen. Yeah, we're sharing this screen right here. It's about to go down, you guys. We're about to talk about it, man. We're about to talk about this word called misandry. Ooh. A lot of people think it's a myth. I'm about to show you it's not. A lot of people think it's a myth, man. America right now is suffering from something called misandry. It's always the ones who call out something that are really that themselves. You gotta watch that. You gotta watch that. Just gotta watch that. About to get into it. We're about to get in. We're about to give them this work. So I'm dropping the link. This is going to be an open panel. If you come up on the panel, just make sure, there's certain things we don't use, certain words we don't use. We don't want to trigger the algorithm to block this and not send this out. So we don't use the R word. If you understand what I'm saying, we say the R word, but we don't use the actual word associated with the R word. We don't talk about, just keep it clean. How about that? I'll clean everything else up. But this one, we're going to try to go viral on this one, y'all. We're going to try to go viral. We really are. I think this is an important topic. I know there's a lot of other things going on in the world right now, but we're going to stay on topic. We're not going to jump ship just yet. We're going to continue to hit it. Y'all see the title, Misandry is Real. Signs, 18 of them, matter of fact, that you might be with someone who's suffering from misandry. What is misandry? What is it all about? About to get into it. So I'm about to drop the link here. About to drop the link here. Dropping the link in the chat right now. Go ahead and click the link for the StreamYard if you want to come up and be on the panel. Go ahead and click the link in for StreamYard if you want to be on the panel. Let me see if there's a way I can pin this. Something like that, right? Click the link. Click the link. Click the link. And come on backstage and let's get this thing started. We're about to have a conversation, y'all. We are about to have a conversation, y'all. Is misandry real? We're about to get into it. Misandry, you best believe it. If men can be called sexist, if men can be called male chauvinists, then you best believe misandry is real. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. Let's get into it. Stop the music. We're gonna do some changes up, y'all. We about to get some changes up in here, man. Been getting hit with some copyright claims for the music, so I'm gonna use some elevator music for right now. But we about to get into it. Misandry is real. I dropped the link on StreamYard. If you see the link there and you're invited on the panel, just click the link. We need to get this thing started. We need to get this thing started. But Misandry, is it real? Is it real? Is Misandry real? It is. It's very real. Very real and alive and running rampant. What are some of the signs of Misandry, you might say? What are some of the signs? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm about to play a video. I'm about to play a video. I'm about to play a video, y'all. I'm about to put this video on. Give some of these panel members a chance to hop up here. I'm about to put this video on. That's me with the. There you go. Click the link for StreamYard. Click the link for StreamYard. We're waiting on some people to show up here, but we're about to play a little video here. We're about to play a little video here. Just to set the mood right. There we go. We got Jeffrey from Quantum Wellness in the background. We're about to bring him up. What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, we living over here, man. We trying to give them this work today, man.
Right.
We trying to give them this work today because they don't believe that. I don't think they believe Misandry is real, but it is very, very real, and it's definitely sweeping through the Western civilization now. Let me put this video up here. We're about to get into the video. About to put it. We gonna start with the video, and then we're gonna jump right into the topic. We still got some more people waiting on Walter Dowling to jump on. We're waiting on 140 characters, Mike Jordan to jump on. We waiting on a couple people here. But while we're waiting, we got to watch this video. We got to keep the show going. So let me bring up this video here. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Is Misandry real? Okay, I don't want y'all to know too much of my settings here, but let's get to it. Had a conversation on Facebook, man. And this woman went off. Just black women are fed up with black men. We don't talk about this, man. Let's play the video.
There is a crisis amongst the black male community pertaining to mental health. Not only do black men struggle with going to therapy, a lot of them, the majority of them, are walking around undiagnosed with mental disorders and personality disorders like narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder. And on top of that, they are still connected, still dealing with their toxic family, their toxic mama, their abusive daddy. They know their family is the reason why they're fucked up because their family taught them how to be abusive and manipulative. Why do they keep hanging on, holding on, going back to the same people that can't heal in the same environment that broke you? Yet, black men will not detach from their coddling, enabling, manipulative, controlling, abusive, two-faced, gossiping mother. They talk about their mother like a dog, but when they need to do their dirt, they call on their mama to help them abuse and manipulate and cheat and dog good black women. It's the same thing for their abusive daddies. You know your daddy, whooped your ass up and down the street, and your daddy whooped on your mama, but you still cool with your daddy. The problem is black men You know, you can forgive the people that abused you in your childhood, your mother and father, but forgiveness does not mean reentry. The problem is, y'all are forgiving your abusers, but you're not detaching from them. And then you still have this hidden resentment towards your mother and father and your toxic family. And you wait to get into your romantic relationships, and all that resentment, hatred, and anger that you have for your family, you take it out on the person who's trying to love you and show you better and teach you better. It is unfair to the black woman. We have tolerated it and put up with a lot of y'all shit. Y'all think we supposed to be y'all therapists. You think we're rehabilitation centers. You think we supposed to do and be everything because your mama did it. Because your mama allowed your daddy to disrespect and cheat on her. You don't know how to handle rejection. When we tell you no in the relationship, you want to abuse and punish us and run back home to your toxic mama. The days of black women tolerating the abuse and disrespect are done, are over. There is an understanding that black women, we are learning about narcissistic personality disorder, and we are learning to completely disassociate, disengage. We don't want nothing to do with y'all because y'all are unaliving us. Y'all are the reason that black women are coming up dead and missing every 6 hours in the United States. Black women are done. We are fed up.
Mm,
There is a crisis among
mm, mm, mm. Wow, wow, wow. And there was a lot said right there. A lot said that was focused at the black man.
Yeah,
A lot said
a
that
whole
was
lot.
focused, controlled focused at the black man.
Yes, indeed.
And I have to say, to someone who doesn't know no better, this might sound true. Matter of fact, women, modern women are probably sitting there clapping their hands. Black women are probably sitting there agreeing with this sister, like she knows what she's talking about. But I want y'all to just understand something. Where is the stats? Where is the data? Where is the statistics on this that she's talking about? Where is this at? Because she's throwing out a lot of broad strokes and directing it towards the black man. Misandry is real. Who hurt this woman? Who hurt you? What relationship failed because you didn't inspect what you expect? What relationship failed? What would make you dare say those things? What would make you even think those things are true? We understand that some things are anecdotal. Some things people go through and experience, but you can't project that on all women. You can't do that. You just can't do that. You can't project your relationship and think everybody's having the same relationship. You can't think all men, all heterosexual relationships are bad. You can't think that. If you do, if you, I want to tell you the danger. We got to stop that, man. You can't be calling during the show, my brother. Let me go ahead and make sure we're about to click off this because we don't need that anymore. We're here. Remove that. We're here. Y'all see us. Now, messed up my flow. I was going somewhere. But misandry, this this woman is the definition of misandry. Definition of misandry. I'm gonna give y'all some bullet points, man. I did my homework. I did my homework. I did my homework, y'all. I didn't come here unprepared. You know, if I wanted to put up a slide, I could, but I just wanted to just add something to you. I just want to bring up 18 signs you're dating a modern woman who has misandry. The causes, symptoms, and treatments of misandry. What is it? Well, she displayed a lot of misandry in this statement. Misandry. What is misandry? What is the definition of misandry? Let's go to the Google. I don't want to mess it up, even though it's so simple. Even though it's so simple. But I want y'all to know that we're not making up stuff here. Misandry. Let's see if y'all can see that. I'm bringing up Google. Dislike of contempt for or ingrained prejudice against men. That's what misandry is. If you can call a man sexist, misogynist, bigotry, we can also say put those same things together and throw them back at you. We can also say that women, modern women, might be suffering from misandry. We got Walter down and up on the stream here. Let me bring him up here. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. We getting into it. I don't know if you saw the video, man, but I had to play the video. I had to start with the video.
Oh, I've seen the video plenty of times.
I had to start with the video, man. And I'm just flabbergasted. I'm just like this woman, I mean, it just amazes me how if you're not paying attention, even as a man, you can fall for this. You can fall for the trap that she was setting out there. Black women are fed up with black men. Okay. But if you can point the finger, can we also not point the finger back at you? Can we start by pointing the finger at ourselves first without pointing it outward first? Because most of the modern woman struggle is not the man. It's the struggle within themselves. It's the struggle within themselves. Let me bring up some bullet points here. And let's bring up some talking points here, and then we're going to get into it. She has a feminist bumper sticker on her car. If she has a feminist bumper sticker on her car, she's probably suffering from misandry. She's probably suffering from misandry. If she has a feminist bumper sticker, if she does this, she is very likely to hate men and be misandrous. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think when y'all see a feminist bumper sticker on the car? Are you thinking that she's married or you thinking she's single? What do you think? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Anybody can talk. Anybody can talk. We'll go line.
Oh man, that's funny. That's like,
I mean, you can't get any straightforward than that.
yeah.
If she got a feminist bumper sticker on her car, that's a sign. That's not even a sign from God. That's just like a red flag saying. I mean, she's telling you off the bat she has a problem with men.
Well, yeah, like I see it as a shackle. Like, I don't agree with everything that Kanye West says, but Kanye West made it clear. He said, a lot of us are slaves to brands, and we're into branding, and we're going off of branding, and a lot of people will follow a brand instead of thinking for themselves. And so just like the bipartisan thing, Republican, Democrat, it's no different. Like a lot of people that they're like, okay, I'm branded by this. These are the rules I go by. I'm not going to think for myself. And if anything goes, even if it sounds logical, if it goes against my brand, then I'm not going to do it. And, or I'm not going to think it, or I'm not going to research it. And that's a big problem with trying to be a free person.
That feminist, that feminist, I mean, that is a brand. I mean, that is a popular brand right now. Feminism is popular. We got male feminism. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we got males who co-sign with the feminist movement, who believe in it, who go for it, who think it's cool, who thinks it's popular to pander and agree with all women. I mean, society's kind of set up to where it's the advantage is going toward the the modern woman. It's going towards her side. Everything is in the ball is no longer in the man's court. It's in the woman's court, and she can play with it and do with it as she pleases. That's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. If she has a feminist bumper sticker on her car, but let me tell you something else. If she's extremely manipulative and will use any tactic to get her way, she's probably suffering from misandry. What do I mean by any tactic to get her way? She's going to use shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. That's like the modern woman's playbook right there. But that's straight misandry. Shame, she's so manipulative. She will use any tactic to get her way. This woman was really manipulative. I mean, she really was pointing the finger at black. I mean, she made black men look like we're this small. She called us narcissists. I don't think I'm gonna get dinged for saying abuser, or they might ding me, but we'll clean it up. Hopefully they watch this video. But but less of calling us the R word, okay? She called us everything else. It seems like today, heterosexual relationships, heterosexual marriages are under attack. And they're under attack by our own women. Why is that? That's a question I want to pose to the panel. Why is it all of a sudden the heterosexual man is under so much attack? Why are we first to it's like we're just getting pushed to the bottom. There's so many conversations going on about who should get their plate first and the patriarch and how it's so evil. But what's so evil about it when the very thing that you say is evil, the very person you say is evil, we created the world that you take advantage of today?
Well, Max, I don't think it was all of a sudden. I think this is, you're talking about, we're about 3 generations in, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, when you look back at like our parents, I think that's when it really started to change around after the civil rights movement and the feminist movement kicked in. And so now what you're seeing is just like, what was sort of like taboo, like when they created the welfare system, when they started to break the families apart back in the 60s and the 70s, because that was the only thing that was left that could create a formidable opposition to the powers that be. And so now you're seeing 3 generations of that being manifested to where it's like mainstream. And so you like the women that are around today that's they're popular are referred to as like the modern woman. This is those first generation women that that they came up with when it was normal not to have daddies in the house. So they don't really have a respect for men, because that was at a time when men weren't to be respected, and that was by design. And so now what you're seeing now is just that that behavior just being is becoming widespread, and it's becoming the norm, and then also it's supported in the media.
Definitely supported in the media. It's definitely supported in the media. Like you said, it's a brand. Feminism is a brand. And you have male and female on the same bandwagon going along with this brand. And it's being fed to you with a spoon. Spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. It's being fed to you to where you accept it. To where we're seeing, women are Modern women have been so bold. They have not been shy about what they want, what they expect, what they're looking for. But even when they get that very thing that they're looking for, they're still indecisive. They still don't know what to do. They still don't know how to take care of it. They still don't know how to treat it. We're coming up, like you said, we're 3 generations deep in this. It started with the feminist movement, with the civil rights. It started in that era. The breakdown wasn't as noticeable back then, but it's very noticeable now. But here's the thing: I won't even say it's noticeable now. Yeah, we notice it, but we don't want to put a name on it. Misandry is not a popular word. Most people will think it's a myth. Most people will think it's made, and most people will think it doesn't exist. But it really does, and it's really prevalent in the Western countries right now. It's sweeping all over. Women, modern women, black women are hating the men that they're supposed to love and respect. And they're painting men with an unfair, with a broad stroke, and they're putting all men in this one basket. See, another sign of misandry, she has a very us versus them mentality, and is always quick to demonize men. Are you seeing that today, Walter? Are you seeing that us versus them mentality going on? I mean, you deal with this kind of stuff. You counsel a lot of people. Are you seeing this division between it's us? I mean, are men trying to divide themselves from the women, or are the women dividing themselves from the men?
Well, yeah, that's one thing I wanted to get into because given the climate, we have to be able to hack at the seeds and not hack at the bush because
Okay.
um, there's nothing new under. And honestly, I know what we're experiencing has come from the civil rights, like the 60s, 70s, or whatever. But actually, there's nothing new. This has been going on for like since biblical times. I mean, there's been men set up by women since biblical times. I mean, it's all like even if you look in the Bible, what's that guy that got accused of what rape or sexual molestation? Um, and he
We
didn't
gotta
do
we
it.
gotta we gotta use different words for
Oh,
that.
oh yeah, yeah. Ooh,
The
ooh,
R word
ooh, ooh, ooh.
and the M
The, the,
word.
the R,
We gotta
yeah, the R word. I
yeah.
don't know if you can edit that out. I gotta remember we're on this YouTube thing. I got to switch my.
Yeah, we're not on the Patreon yet. Patreon, we can speak freely, man. Like a lot of these conversations might have to go onto the Patreon, man, because of the in depth and the just the these are grown folks conversation, and we're under attack with the algorithm and the speech patterns and things like that, and you know things like YouTube doesn't want people. YouTube wants to bring people to the platform. They don't want to trigger people and get people off. So they consider words like that triggering or bad words. Words that are not gonna bring people on the platform. So we want to try to respect that. But so
Yeah,
if it goes there,
that's my
it
bad.
goes
My
there.
apologies. I
It's
already
all
knew
good.
that, but it's like force of habit because I'm not always on YouTube and these
Sure.
things for those reasons. But I mean, it's good that came up because I mean, here's a prime example. Like we have to watch what we say because we don't want to trigger certain brands and certain groups to come after us. But
Right.
if you look like men and women been set up by whoever's in power since ancient days. I mean, it hasn't stopped. One thing we do need to do to hack the seed for this current argument is a lot of women in black groups and certain groups are saying men can't speak on this issue because it's an ALM, all lives matter argument. And I'm like, wait a minute, how is it an all lives matter argument? An all lives matter argument means that somebody who can't relate is talking about something. But if we look at history, men and women have been the A word, the R word, all throughout. Can we say the A word?
Uh, I think we can get away with abuse, but we can't go too deep
Okay.
into it. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
so yeah. And we have to remember that a lot of statistics now aren't genuine. A lot of statistics are being used as a magic trick because when you go, like, let's say domestic violence, because when we look at
There we
the
go. We
state,
can use that one.
we can use that.
Yeah, we
No,
can use that.
yeah.
Yeah, we
All
can
right.
use it.
Or I'll just say DV just in case.
Okay.
When we look at DV, um, we see what's going on with like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. She's not going to be criminally prosecuted. This is just to get just to sue her so that a statement can be made. But if that were a man, that man would be criminally prosecuted, sued, socially cut off, and whatnot. But yet this lady in the video is saying that there's a lot of men running around with all these issues. The truth is there's a lot of people running around with issues. People are good, people are bad, people are decent, people are messed up. But if we start taking sides and not addressing the accountability on both sides, there's
Right.
accountability on the man's side and accountability on the woman's side. And for one side to say, hey, you can't address this, then how are we supposed to find a solution to it when it's obvious? And to get what you're saying, it's the brands that are teaching that this is what they're saying. They're saying men have been the A word and oppressive to women for centuries, and now women need to break away from that. But that's not true, because I can go back to each generation and show you a man or men that try to stick up for women. We have task forces out there trying to get people that's been caught in sex trafficking and whatnot. We had Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, a bunch of civil rights leaders saying that women shouldn't be treated like this. Even if we go back to the days of Yeshua, or people know him as Jesus, Jesus stopped, or Yeshua stopped them from throwing rocks at her at that lady for being in a
In
hypocritical
adultery.
way. So I can go
Yeah.
back each generation and show you men that haven't oppressed women, but yet these brands and entities today need to say that in order to get followers to have slaves and control them.
That's true. That's true. You know, you brought up some good, you brought up so many good points, Walter. Who else is going to defend women if it's not a man? So for you to point the finger and say that the man is evil because of some anecdotal experience that you had, or because you keep having the same experience over and over again because you keep choosing the same man, just just different shape, different figure, different shade, whatever. You keep choosing the same kind of man over and over again, and you start thinking that that's all men. You start painting men in a broad stroke. But we know that you got to be held accountable. You know everything starts with inward first. Before you go outward, you got to go inward. What am I doing wrong? What kind of energy am I giving off? What am I putting out there? Because you only attract who you are. You only attract who you are. If you're sending out low level vibrations, you're gonna attract low level vibration dudes. If you're if you're of a certain shape that's maybe not be so popular, but you don't want to change your shape because you're just, it's body positivity or whatever, you're going to attract those type of guys who like those type of shapes. And maybe those type of, maybe people with them type of shapes are operating in low energy, and they're attracting these low energy guys. And then you're painting all men. You're saying there's no good men out there. No, no, no. You got to make a change. The change starts with you. Let's go into some more symptoms. She believes that all men are potential abusers, that all heterosexual relationships are inherently, I guess I gotta say, abusive. We might just have to put this on the we might have to put this on the on the on the uh, on the Patreon because we can't get around it.
Man,
This is what I call the color purpling of America. These women think all men are Mister on the color purple. That's not true. My dad wasn't a Mister. Okay. My dad defended women. My dad had daughters. I mean, any man with a daughter is going to have a little bit more empathy for the plight of a woman. Any man who has a mother, whether she's the greatest mother or not, any man who can, they're going to understand that, hey man, that you that not all not all women are the same, not all men are the same. You know, you can't just paint everybody and put them on into this one little box. You can't just because you don't like what you hear, call it toxic masculinity. You just can't do that. And what this older woman, she's not a young lady, she's probably an older woman, at least 30 or above. I would give her that. I'm not gonna go too older than that, but she's at least 30 and above. I mean, she was saying, she calls us narcissists, but the way she was coming off was pretty narcissist. The way she was the way she was in her masculine energy as she was talking there, it was it was pretty narcissist. It was pretty one-sided. It was pointing the finger like the problem with the world is the man. But here's what you got. Here's what they don't understand. That same person that you think is the problem, he's also the answer. That same person you're pointing the finger at that you're thinking is the problem is really the answer. Men are the problem, and men are also the solution because we built this thing. And if all the men sat down today and said, we're not going to do another thing, and now we expect all the women or the modern women to step up, they wouldn't know what to do. They'd be begging us to come back and do all the hard labor that they can't do. I posted something, Bear Grill Island season 2. I posted that up there for a reason because I wanted people to see. I hope some people went and watched that because it took these women almost 20 days to meet up, 25 days to meet up. They almost died twice. They went without food and water. They went without water for like 5-6 days. Okay. I still haven't seen them kill anything yet, but I'm sure they're going to get to it and get some meat and get some in their system because I'm still watching the episode. I'm on like season 5 or season 6 right now. Or episode 5 or episode 6, not season 5. But you watch these women cry and complain. Okay. And then, it wasn't, and then we watch some of the men, but see, here's the thing about men. Men argue, but that's because we got to figure out who's the alpha male. We're gonna fight it out. We're gonna war it out until we figure out who is the lead dog. And then the weak ones, they're just gonna walk away and leave. So two weak men jump in the first episode left, but after they left, they became stronger, and they started getting things done. They got to the end of the island in one day. They got to the beach. It took them about 6 days before they finally said, man, we got to kill something and eat something. And they killed they caught a freaking alligator and feasted on that for like 2 days until they figured out that you know what, this leftover meat is bad. We got to go kill again. We got to go do it all over again. But the women they couldn't, you could tell. They even admitted themselves that, hey man, we aren't built for this. So when you come down, when you come down to it, it's like if we are the problem, then that's a big problem. If we are really the problem, then the world is in trouble. Because the same person that you're calling the problem is also the solution at the same time. Here's another symptom. She regularly refers to men as pathetic, lazy, stupid, or inferior. If you're messing around with a woman and she refers to men as pathetic, lazy, stupid, or inferior, that's a high chance, man, she suffers from misandry. There's a high chance that she doesn't like men. I have a show on here. I have an episode, whatever you want to call it. I did a YouTube video about modern women hate men. They hate men. They really don't like us. They've been trying to emasculate us and feminize us, get us to think like them, get us to talk like them. They want us to sit there and go back and forth. And we don't do that. We don't go back and forth. We tell you what it is and we tell you what it isn't. And that's it. We don't even go back and forth with men. Matter of fact, if we got to go back and forth, somebody's, it's going to be a fist fight somewhere. Because we're not doing that with men. Men understand that there's a level of threat that must be respected. You can only say so much. You can only do so much to a man before he's like, okay. Now what?
Men don't talk to women like. I mean, women don't. Men don't talk to each other like how women be communicating with people.
No, we don't. Matter of fact, going back to Bear Grylls Island. Women talk about like they're the best communicators, right? No, they're not. Men are the best communicators. Men are. Because how do you know we're the best communicators? Because at the end of the day, we get the job done. If you're still talking about getting the job done and haven't got the job done and still going back and forth, you're not good at communicating.
Can we clear something up about that though? Because a lot of people that they're like, oh well, men, my man or this man isn't talking. He doesn't really say much and blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean he's communicating. That just means that we're not going to waste our time on a futile argument or if we know what we're going to do, we're not going to waste time beating around the bush. So just because that man isn't talking or sometimes it's like, hey, man, if I talk to this person, I'm going to punch him in his face. So I need to remove myself from it. Let's go. Follow me. Do you trust me or not? And we're gonna do what we got to do. I don't need to sit around and go back and forth with this because this person is irrelevant. And a lot of women like to talk to irrelevant people. That's been a problem with me helping out marital couples as well. Like the woman will always, well, men do it too, but for this topic, there's a lot of women that won't trust her man and will go talk to all these other sources instead of talking with her man. And then come to find out at the end of it, dang, I should have listened to my man. But then it's like, okay, well, this is the third or fifth time you've done this. So when are you going to fix it? And it's like, yeah, you see your man is not talking to everybody, going around, blah, 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 but he's getting it done. So don't label him or for the world, don't label us as like that we don't know how to communicate. And a lot of times we don't want to communicate with the world because we're like, why communicate with somebody with a world that's putting us down? We're not going to put ourselves out there to where you're going to expose us and it not be fruitful, basically.
Oh yeah. And when it comes to communication, first of all, when you're a great communicator, when you're someone who communicates, you don't expect people to read your mind. A person who's good at communicating doesn't expect you to read their mind. So if you even think that somebody has to read your mind or figure you out, then you're not a good communicator. You're not a good communicator because a good communicator is going to tell you, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. This is what I expect. This is what I don't expect. These are my standards. These are my these things I can live with. We're going to tell you. Men are simple. We let you know what it is and what it isn't. It's when you get the emotions and these feelings where things get a little complicated, where things get a little gray, where things get a little passionate. Because for the most part, it's not that men don't have feelings, because we do. We are human. We do. Just like women can be intellectual. We know that. But we also know that we got a little bit more of that. And we got a little bit of less of this. And when it comes time to get to work, these wide shoulders get to work and make it happen. I say pressure was made for shoulders, not hips. Pressure was made for shoulders, not hips. We out here putting in the work, and it's frustrating when you come home from a hard day's work and you got somebody complaining really about nothing. Something that could have been solved. Something that could have easily been dealt with and situated, but they want to keep complaining and keep nagging. And they wonder why we disconnect or disassociate from that, because we don't want to hear that. Because that's not who a man is. That's just not who we are. Give some more symptoms here. She claims that she's more successful than most men, and she can take better care of herself than any man could. When a woman starts talking like that, when they start talking about that Kevin Samuels slogan, I'm a PhD, I'm smarter than you, I can take care of myself, I'm also getting to the bag, my OnlyFans page is popping, my stripper pole is the thing to be. When they start talking about my eyelash business, when they start talking like that, when they start asking you, can you match what I make? You might as well understand she's operating in misandry. That which she says she wants, she actually despises, because she's trying to compete with you. When a woman's trying to compete or become equal to a man, trying to do things just like a man, trying to outdo a man, well, what if the world goes back to season 2, Bear Grylls Island, and you gotta go through the woods and get stranded on this island? You're not going. How you gonna say? How you gonna feel the way you feel when you gotta chop through some bushes? When you gotta hunt for your own food? Because men, we modernize this world that you got. The reason why you got supermarkets is because of us. I mean, I'm not the personal inventor of a supermarket, but the reason why you got farms is because of us. Otherwise, some other man would just come in and take it from you. We did that. Here's another symptom, though. She likely has very little patience for anything you have to say and regularly interrupts or talks over you. If a woman is constantly talking over you, that's a clear sign of disrespect. Men don't tolerate that. We don't tolerate it. You ain't gonna talk over me. We can have the conversation, but you're not gonna talk over me. But modern women, they don't even hear what you're saying. They just feel a certain way, and they start talking their feelings like it's real. They make their feelings become true, become a reality, and they spew this stuff out at you. They don't even listen. They talk over you. They shame you. They give you some insults. They tell you you're this, you're that. You're toxic masculine. You're male chauvinist. You know, I send my video out to women. I really do. I send them out to women. Is it raining out here? It's pouring down. So if y'all hear that, it's pouring down. Let's hope that it doesn't mess with the internet. If it does, my brothers, y'all take over this show and y'all run it. Y'all run it if it kicks me off.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
catching up.
85, 90 degrees out here. But I have a question for Jeff though, because like I mean you deal with the health and I kind of want to relate to this topic to health because I feel like anything dealing with relationships with men and women, it should be practical and could be relatable to other topics. So like if you tell somebody, hey, um, if you eat this tilapia, that this has this many chemicals in it, or you go eat at McDonald's, this is going to cause cancer, and they're just saying like, hey, well, I just want to do what I want to do, but then later on they come back to you and be like, oh, well, I got cancer, I got this, I got that, and you're
Yeah,
like,
it
hey,
happens. It
well,
happens all the time.
I yeah,
It
it's
happens
like
all the time.
how much protection can you really offer to somebody that wants to do what they want to do in the first place? I mean, with the women, like how much protection do you really extend? Like you're like, hey, um, I want to talk to your boyfriend at the time. This, hey, he ain't for you. He ain't healed. He ain't this. So now, why you coming to me later talking about I should have did something? So I kind of want to hear how you um, feel as though with the health point on it, the mental health and the physical health on it.
Well, truth be told, I adopted the mentality of free. Everybody has free will, and so what I do is I step in and say my part. When in a timely manner. If a person takes heed to it, they took heed to it. If they didn't, then I guess there's a lesson that they need to learn in that. And so, like I said, I mean, people came to me and told me stuff back in the day that I wasn't actually mentally or emotionally ready for. That that didn't really have a bearing in my life, and that, or at least I didn't think it did. But there was a lesson that I needed to learn. So, with that being said, because you'll drive yourself nuts trying to like uh, deal with somebody else's trauma when they're not ready for it, and then also with that being said, that people will receive certain information in a certain way, and if their mentality isn't on point or they're not mentally or emotionally ready for that, they'll flip it back on you and make it seem like you did something to them. Just like, say for instance, um, I had a situation back in the day where I knew one of my homegirl's boyfriends. He had anger issues and whatnot. And I was like, hey, you want to steer clear of this cat because I've heard, I never seen, firsthand, but I heard of him putting hands on women and stuff like that. You might want to steer clear of him. And she was like, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. And then try to flip it like I was trying to get with her. I was like, nah, I'm just trying to let you know you might want to you might want to watch out. And then she flipped it on me like, oh, well, you just jealous. And I was like, oh, say less. I'm good. And then all of a sudden, a few months later, he started going upside her head. And then it was like, oh, like, but the thing is, she was talking about how cute he is, what kind of what kind of car he was rolling, and everything that was the wrong thing about somebody she should have been dealing with. But you can tell, for just like when you're dealing with your children, you want to protect them and show them, and put them up on game. But at some point, some of your kids gonna listen. The other one's gonna be like, "Oh, I got to hear this for myself." You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same thing with, and then you talk, and they're regular. So when you think about people that actually are in toxic environments, they're coming, multi-generational father, absentee dads in the family and stuff like that, without any, positive male role models. Like their understanding of what men are. We talk about kids that were born in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s is cast as they seen on the, in the rap video. Yeah. And so that's they daddy. That's they positive male image. The one that's talking about bits, bees and hoes and this and that, and the misogynistic, cats that they perpetuate, and it's by design. They put these cats out here like that. Otherwise, they won't let their album drop. And so there's a reason why it plays like that over and over and over again. The difference is, and then people say, oh, well, white folks listen to that stuff too. Yeah, they do, but their households dynamics is different. So there's still a dad at home for them to be like, oh, okay. And the white girls still looking at daddy because he's the head of household. When that happens in, you know, our community, because like I said, I always reference back to the civil rights movement, because that was the last generation that experience where it was normal to have a mother-father dynamic in the household. After
Right.
that is when it changed, and the reason being is the black economy took a nosedive afterwards, because we came out of slavery, we still had the black family intact. We came through, you know, the
We were the
bombing,
most married. We were the
huh?
most married coming. We were the most married coming out of slavery. We were the
Yeah,
most married coming out of slavery.
absolutely.
We were together. There was
We
no
came,
reason that you would see a single father or a single mother back then.
yeah,
We were together. It was when they put that segregation, when they desegregated everything,
uh-huh,
mixed us in with other cultures,
yeah,
mixed us in with other races,
and
where
so then,
things went down
yeah,
for the black
because
culture.
right after that, the black economy took a nosedive because we recovered after the bombings of Black Wall Street, and there was 500 other cities that were just on that same level. They just don't talk about it as much. That all that same situation happened of the bombings and whatnot, and we all and most of those states, or not most of those cities were rebuilt. But after the civil rights movement, black folks stopped doing business with each other, and so the last thing that really like helped to make or maintain, you know, the black male presence in the household, or black families to bind together, was business, you know, us supporting one another. And so once that economic component left the house, you know, wasn't available, because black businesses took a nosedive because we were doing business with white folks and pay, you know, buying all their stuff. You know, the white man's ice was colder. And so we thought
Life was colder.
after that, um, they moved into the welfare initiative start coming into play. And a big and what was the prerequisite for that? It could not be an able-bodied male working in the house. Period. Living in the household. And so when
Facts.
social workers used to come to the house, the black man would go running out the back door because they needed the money, but he couldn't. There was no place for him to create jobs because nobody would buy from him. And so that's the advent when you started seeing brothers sitting at the liquor stores, because they can't find work. The white man wasn't gonna hire them, and they weren't in a position to really like maintain and create their own jobs like they used to, because we used to hire each other. And so from that point forward, the black man's worth in the household diminished greatly, to the point where that was all this disrespect and this angst and this, you know, I mean, think about it. You got to think about how he felt, having to run out the back door and he can't do nothing. So he was acting like he was going to work and then going to post up at the liquor store with the other brothers that can't find work. They just pretty much gave up. Then you start and then the drugs and stuff, you know, really started to take over in our communities, because we were
Man,
able
when the
to
drugs hit the
afford
black community, man, that was devastating, man. That was
that.
devastating for us, man.
Yeah, and then it just started coming in waves. And you add the crack movement and the whole nine. So that's why when you see it nowadays, it's like a hate. That misandry that you're talking about, it's inbred now, because we
Man,
have a whole two generations
man,
after that of children. You know, men, you got brothers that hate themselves because, you know, they've been raised in households that don't have positive male role models, and so they looking at, you know, the rappers and whatnot like that's they daddy. As a matter of, who was that? I was watching a video the other day. Oh yeah, E40. He was like, yeah, cats be coming up to him and told him, like E40, man, you raised me. You gave me more game than my dad. You know, like,
mm,
and then literally he said it in the video, and I'm like, damn. At first I was like, okay, yeah, you know, I was like joke laughing about it, but then when I really thought, I was like, damn, talking about a rapper raised your, you know, I was raised by you, by your
well, we
music.
talking about Will Smith, and we talking about Dr. Phil with a lot of people's dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Dr.
And
Phil,
so
we talk Bill Cosby
yeah,
with a lot of people's dad.
right. Yeah.
You know, look, I mean, everything you're saying is right on point, man. Everything you're saying
Mhm.
is right on point, man. Right on point. And it just leads me to another thing. Another symptom of misandry. She's always quick to criticize and find fault in you, but she can
Mhm.
never take constructive criticism for herself.
Yeah.
Let me
What?
say,
Go ahead, Mr. Researcher.
no, go ahead and finish your thought, brother.
Yeah. So when you have this going on, you have they're so quick to point the finger, but I gotta say this too. How many times have the woman degraded the man without the father being in the home to where he can't even defend himself because he's not there? How many times has the modern woman degraded the man because she was able to, because he's not in the home to defend himself? So these children grow up not knowing the father's side of the story, not knowing that their mother was practicing misandry by kicking the man out the house, telling lies on the man that he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. You brought up a good point, man. You know, why he's hanging out at the liquor store, he's acting like he's going to work, but nobody's understanding why he's doing that. They're thinking he's just a deadbeat. They're not understanding that the economy was not there at one time for the black man. It was taken away from him. Everything a black man built, it was brought down and destroyed. And for modern women to be that unfair towards the man is just ridiculous. It's foolishness. It's foolishness not to hear the side of your dad. I don't care. You know, there's all kinds of reasons why a man will leave his child. There's all kinds of reasons. They don't have to be good ones, but there are reasons. Just like there's all kinds of reasons that a mother will abort a child. They don't have to be good ones, but there are reasons. But if you don't talk to that mother, if you don't talk to that father, you won't know. You'll only get one-sided. And all I'm trying to do with this channel is get the other side of the story out, because there's more than one. I was raised by a single father. I had to go get the other side of the story to find out, hey, that maybe my mother wasn't as good as I pictured her in my mind to be. Maybe she wasn't as loving or caring or as good as pure as I thought she was.
Let me
I had to
jump
go
in.
find out for myself. I had to go get her side of the story. I had to go. I heard it from my dad. Oh, your mom's this, your mom's that. I heard it from my dad, but I had to go get it for myself. And when I got it for myself, I found out, man, my dad never lied.
Let me jump in right there.
Go ahead, jump in.
So I'm going to say something a little bit differently. So I agree with half of what's been said. My research is a little bit different. I'm
Well,
not
we see
going to
your name is
pander.
Mr. Research.
I'm not going to pander for these chicks,
Go ahead.
but I'm going to keep it 100. Just like what you just said. How many single fathers are known in the community and the nation at large to have their black children getting caught up in crime or jail? Not many. Not many. Not saying it don't happen. Not many, because you got to come home to a punch in your chest. You got to come home to retribution from pops. Pops ain't got time to be coming down there to bail you out. You did what? All right. Yeah, I'm coming to get you. You more scared of that. Your daughter is more scared to open her legs. Oh, my daddy will kill me. That's because those type of homes, percentage wise, don't play that. A lot of black men don't know Jimmy Carter actually passed the law when he was president, his short term of 4 years, that cured that whole black man in the home. He had a 2-parent home. You can go look, because in Congress he argued with Arkansas to force them to do it because they were one of the people holding out. Because the black man believed so much in Ronald Reagan at the time, the black man voted Reagan in, and Reagan changed it back to a 1-parent. That's how deep the black man needs to be invested in knowing his own solutions. Yes, it is these chicks, but it's the black man's lack of the game, the black man lack of understanding what power is. Let me show you another example. The brother standing on the block couldn't find no job. That's because he many a times was a work with your hands brother. Now, those brothers that he was teasing, the nerds, the squares, the lanes, the dudes he was fighting and kicking in the butt as they trying to take their backpack to work, they didn't have no problem with those jobs. but we would call them white. You trying to act white. You trying to get a title. See, it ain't no females involved with that. That's misandry males taking that female logic and attacking other males with it.
That's true.
Let me run that
That's
back.
true.
That's those misandry males
That's
taking
true.
that female logic and pocket watching another dude because he ain't doing what I think you should be doing. You got
Well, when
dudes
you're
out
raised
here.
in a single mother home, though, if you're raised in a single mother home, you got to understand that there's more emotion in you than masculinity. There's
Of
more
course,
femininity in you than masculinity. Tupac said it. Tupac. If people listen to Tupac, they love him so much. He told you, I got my game from a woman. I got my name from a woman.
of course,
He told you why he was a little feminine. He told you why he sat like this sometimes. Why he wore those bandanas on his head like a woman, and made that popular, made that thug, right?
of course,
He told you that his parents were in with with Black Panther and how he had that activist spirit and how he got it from his mom.
but the problem, Moxie, the problem is all that is true. That's not in dispute. The problem is if you want the male image to be seen as excellent and revered, you can't be one of those dudes trying to stop one of these square nerdy dudes from
Oh, I
living
agree.
beyond women.
I agree.
Living beyond women. You can't be dragging him back into the woman misandry understanding, saying, now remember, brothers, we done heard this phrase before. You got to understand black women. You got, man, a real man, most of the time, that's another dude telling you that. When you don't want to sit up here and interact with these chicks and you want to live beyond them, maybe you want to get a black chick from Greece. Maybe you want to get a black chick from Russia. Here come a black man pocket watching you. Oh man, you ain't you should be able to find one, brother. If it works for
No,
you,
man.
let it
My
work
wife
for
is
you.
African. My wife is
I
African. I
know, that's
flew
my
to
point.
Africa. I'm in Africa right now. I'm in East Africa right now with my wife.
That's my point.
Okay.
And my whole point is that, and let me just rock this real minute because Jeffrey said a couple of things.
Go
My
ahead.
whole point is simply that if you remove women out of it, and we black men want the image of our nephews and sons to be great, we got to stop helping the female logic train. We got to stop our homeboys from stopping this dude living beyond his mom.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
dude don't want to be around his mom and he want to be at chess club. Stop your son from picking on this dude. Hey,
That's
hey,
right.
son, let that go. If you want to run with your friends, run. But little square Tommy over there, let him do his thing. See, it's too many black men trying to stop black men just so we can have this argument of women are terrible. Yes, they are. But I'm gonna end by saying this. We gotta know how to help ourselves beyond these women are terrible. We gotta understand that a lot of times it's another black male that's sitting up here opening his mouth to stop us from doing something that has nothing to do with dissing him or dissing her. We trying to keep him on the plantation many a time.
That's true. What do you got to say to that, Walter? Anything you want to add?
Yeah. Well, in my practice, there's a difficulty to that. Um, I have moms and wives and girlfriends asking me, hey, can you talk to my son? Can you talk to my boyfriend, et cetera, et cetera? And I go talk to the son, and I find out that because he's in that single mom household, that he's getting certain things from that mom. I tell him, hey, don't pick on that nerdy kid, but he got it from his mom that only Jordans are cool. You know what I mean? Because the mom is trying to give the kid everything that she didn't have, or everything that she thinks he needs. I mean, or even when I deal with couples, like it's often the mom saying, hey, I need to buy him this, this, and this, and that. And I'm like, well, you're buying him that because you want to feel good as a mother, but actually he needs music lessons. Actually, he needs this, this, and this, and that. You just want to do what satisfies you. And or like even when I do talk to somebody's boyfriend or whatever, there's plenty of times I was like, wait a minute, I talked to this dude, or like Jeffrey said, I went and talked to this dude, and I don't think you're even supposed to be with him because he's not checking certain boxes, you know. And then I find out that she wants to be with him because of some D or some money or something insecure, shallow or whatever. And so, like a lot of fathers, we're not the ones that's training kids up
Blessings to you, man. Good looking out.
to pick on nerds. A lot of us are nerdy themselves. Like I'm nerdy myself. You know, I watch anime and this and that. I mean, you do have some misogynistic fathers who are teaching their kids to be bullies or whatever, but it's no different from the mothers that's training their kids to be bullies by lack of parenting. So I can only do as far as my practice goes, or even outside of my practice, I can only do as far as my circle to certain people as a man. Outside of that, if somebody wants to do something different, I mean, that there's not that much that we can really do.
I guess with me, I'm just saying we as males need to create a culture of black boy first, the way many other cultures are. We put dating above our own son's advancement sometimes. Like, for
I
example,
agree.
I was talking to some people on an education topic about a couple of hours ago. I don't even have no kids. And I donate more money to the Black Teachers Project than most people who got kids. So what's funny is I want to see black boys not have to be told that the the daughter comes first. Because in the Jewish community, that boy he got a bar mitzvah being told he come first.
That's
In the
right.
Latin and the Portuguese community, that boy got a culture called machismo. They tell the sister, the older sister, right in front of him, hey, it's all about him. He's daddy's future. But for some reason, you come to this community, these chicks are off code. These chicks are doing this. These chicks,
Way off
nothing
code.
wrong with that. I'm just saying, we gotta create a culture where these boys can have some safety.
Well, let me say this real quick, man. This is something recently happened to me, man. This is going on. This happened in my family. Um, my dad passed away, and I was here. I happened to be in Africa at that time when he passed away, and they called me. They told me, I wasn't getting along with my, I don't get along with my sisters. I don't get along with my sisters. Um, and instead of them making sure I was there, right, that I could be a part of it, there's all, they rushed the funeral before I can get there on time. Rushed it.
That's normal.
Rushed the funeral so the man could not be present for his own father's funeral.
Yeah, that's foul.
Made it difficult for me. I mean, not see. Here's the thing. I didn't need them for anything. I have my, I'm financially stable. I'm set. I can do what I need to do. I can travel and go where I need to go. But I'm getting word back like you can't stay at your sister's house. I'm like, I don't care. I don't need to stay. I can get a hotel room. All these excuses was being made why to prevent me or why they didn't want me there. Of course, I knew my dad had, he was in the military, probably had a little bit of money. I didn't even want that money. But instead of them saying, instead of them waiting on me to get there so I can have a say so and what goes what and what goes, no, they rushed it. They depleted my dad's bank account, you know,
Wow.
That's
all
normal.
that stuff, all that stuff. All right, before I can get there and control things and say, hey, it needs to go here, there. Now, this was my oldest sister trying to be the patriarch, trying to be the man of the family when it was never meant for her to be. It was always meant for me.
And what I'm telling you, Mox, is I went through it also.
Mm,
And other brothers, I got a homeboy up the street with me. His own siblings tricked him out of his father's legacy.
yeah,
My sister, for whatever reason, I don't even dislike my sister. My sister just woke up one day, realized I had a penis, and started hitting me with a bunch of hate. I ain't in,
man.
every time they had a family picture, with the sisters and their children, they ain't even want to call me. Their situation was you don't have no kids, and this was a family picture. Well, how's it a family picture? I'm the only boy. Okay, you know what? Y'all got a bunch of hate. Do y'all thing. Even to this day, my father died. All these women who claim they love my father couldn't kick in one dime. I had to drop 16 G's because I'm the only one that had their situation tight. Even though these two chicks work for the government and been working for the government 20, 30 years. So Mox, this is a black boy situation where 40% of us go through this. Now the other 60, they don't have as adversarial, but everything you just said, that's why I kept saying this is normal. They have penis envy and they just weaponize off the rip. Now 60% of the brothers never go through this, but the 40% of us, man, this is normal.
Man, I agree. Like I said, I didn't grow up in a household where my sisters made me meals, cooked food, did normal stuff that, feminine women are supposed to do in the home. I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with my dad did the cooking, or I cooked. We all fended for ourselves. I had to learn how to cook. I had to learn how to do for myself. There was no, there was no, there was no. You're the man, or you're the man of the house. It was always, man. We got to get this brother away. When my dad got sick, it was, oh no, you don't have time to take care of him. I do. What? What do you mean I don't got time? I'll make time. That's my dad. I'm always going to have time for him. But it was no, he has to come stay with me. Okay, great. Go, Dad. I'll call you every day, man. I'm gonna check in on you. I watched my dad health deteriorate faster at her house.
Exactly.
In her environment. Man, my dad could have had my dad was in the military. He had the best insurance you can have. He could have had a live-in nurse stay with him. But instead of them having common sense and giving him a live-in nurse, no, we'll take the money and we'll be the nurse. Really? My dad passed away from a slip and fall, man. He slipped and fell, and then they put him back in bed, and he had a blood clot.
My uncle, same thing. My uncle, same exact thing. His daughter did the same exact thing.
It's just crazy that they're so that you're growing. But we grew up in society where the male is not respected, where the male is looked at as competition with the woman, where the male looked at, we got to get him out of here because we can't get our legacy if he's around.
Well, I think I have a solution. And after this, I'm gonna just stay tuned in because I gotta go do some daddy things.
Sure.
But I think what we need is well, I'll say this first. That I know, and so nobody thinks I'm making this up. I know too many women, and a lot of them are professional women. Just all right. The lady in the video, she complained about there's a guy that's sitting around. She's fed up, blah blah blah. But I know a lot of women that's purposely putting those type of men in the home so that they can have, so that they won't be objectively challenged by a real man. And they're purposely doing it. And then when it blows up in their face, then they want to blame, all the real men because it will hide their accountability for the situation. And even worse, they have kids, and the kids have to grow up seeing that and trying to figure out life for themselves. So I think what happens is, you got the LGBT out there, you got Me Too out there, you got so on and so forth out there, but you don't have a men's representative out there. You don't have a men's spokesperson out there. You don't have a men's organization or big men's group backed by celebrities and certain men out there. So I think what we need to do is either have a large scale thing like that, like how they have the LGBTQ, Me Too, Republicans, Democrats, blah, 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 or we need to make small sections to where people's like, hey, tune into the Moxie podcast. where you can go and hear from Moxie, Jeff, and so on and so forth. Because we need to start directing these young men. That a lot of these young men that I talk to on the daily, they don't even know that there's things like this. Um, and then they just turn to PlayStation TV. What's in front of
Right.
them. They're going to turn to what's in front of them because they're not aware that there's things like this. But when we look at the LGBT and all these other entities, Me Too, blah blah blah, you hear about that all the time. It's advertised, it's paid for, it's everything. But there's nothing like that for men's health. There's nothing like that for young boys to grow up um, um, like how we are, but a better version. So I think that's the solution, or that's just one of the solutions I'm thinking. Because and we got to think, how are we going to get more boys to be educated like this? Because look at the statistics. I mean, there's too many boys growing up in households to where they're not getting this type of training. They're not getting this type of training until after they grow up and get married and like, oh, I need to look for a Moxie podcast because what I was told is a lie. There's too many men that they're not finding this until after they have to pay child support or until after they face abuse and realize that there's thousands of DV shelters for women and almost virtually no DV shelters for men.
Exactly.
So
Mm.
the solution is we need to start putting this on a larger awareness scale. And lastly, before I go, even with the chicken topic, like who gets the piece of
Big
the
piece of
biggest
chicken.
chicken? Us as men, half the time I'm giving my daughter food first and blah blah blah. But this wasn't. If you really look at it, it's not about food or whatever. It's about the whole topic boils down to, are you going to respect your man?
Yeah.
What are you putting over your man?
See, you have to demonstrate with your, not just with words. You have to demonstrate through action.
Mhm.
See, we understood that back in the day that it was the action that the children learn from. See, children learn from seeing and watching and listening. That's how they by watching and listening, that's how kids, they have to have both. You can't just be a do as I say, not as I do type of parent. You have to have the action with, you have to show them, you have to model it before them. That's how it gets instilled in them. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and he will not soon depart. The problem is we're not training our children. We're sending them out to school.
How
The
are they getting
latchkey
the
kids.
training with the man not in the house, with
Okay,
the
let me
woman
say this, Walter.
not?
You can say
Let me
that.
say this, Walter, before you leave. So I'm a little bit older, maybe, than some of you guys. I've been in MRA, which is men right activists, way long, like back in 2004. Okay, you know who our number one adversary was? Young dudes, because young dudes would verbalize what they thought was going on rather than what they knew. So they was coming from these homes where they felt like we was complaining. We really wasn't really trying to get no rights, and they worked against it. How did MGTOW get created? Men going their own way. That's a Bing Crosby song, Bing. It's a Bing Crosby song that a Caribbean black man turned into a movement. He turned that into a movement because, according to him, his name was Barbarossa. He said the men's right guys wasn't working fast enough. Okay, when you go to 100 black men in most states, not all, they write more checks for girls than they do boys. All they really do is teach
Mm,
boys how to tie ties. Let me give
mm,
you one more because I'm 20 years in medical. I said this to Morehouse. Morehouse, you're in Atlanta. You're a male school in healthcare. Why are you not dominating all these hospitals in Atlanta? Why are you
Ooh,
not? Why are you not? Oh, Walter, I can hit him with uppercuts all day.
no,
Why,
exactly.
why are you not making sure that when you put a black doctor at one of these schools in one of these departments, that he has a black male patient access rep, he has a black male billing, he has black male. Oh, you know what he says? And I argue with these guys. 20 years in, I worked at Grady, Emory, all that. You know what they say? Oh, black men don't want to do those type of jobs. You
No, you
are
know
worth.
why though? I run into that too, but it's these entities that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, it's these entities that are putting their foot on the net. Why are you going to look out for a black man when you have a LGBT or Me Too, whatever, with their foot on their neck and saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to look out for this. Well, there's no black men's group with their foot on our neck, so we're going to go with
Right.
whoever has the foot on our neck.
Well, I
Right.
just say, man, I've spent majority of my career, Grady, Emory, Kaiser, fighting against black people to get black men hired, risking my job, going
Yeah.
against people and human resources. And these ain't white faces; these are black females and some of the matriarch type of dudes. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Walter, for hanging around.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to tap in on that.
Go ahead and
Because
tap in, man.
I hear what you're saying, Walter.
Thank you for coming up, Walter. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr.
Well,
Mr.
I
Research
hear what
TV
you're
too.
saying. Mr. Research. The big thing you got to keep in mind is ever since Marcus Garvey, made his movement and they put J. Edgar Hoover in place to take him down, they've not allowed any black movement where there was a strong presence to succeed. I mean, even after the Million Man March, and everybody had they had a whole plan laid out, and I remember, and at all the different churches, all the brothers was coming together, and we was going to form coalitions in the streets and take back our communities. And I remember looking across the table, and it was always this one weirdo type cat. He was like, "Wait, who's this dude?" That was like killing all the plans that we were talking about. They
Come
were
on now.
on all the you be like, "Wait, hold up, where he come from?" And saying some more weird type shit. You be like, "Wait, what's going on?" And you got to keep in mind that we up against the machine. We up against $1 trillion industry that's set up to put us and keep us in position where we're always going to be kept in check. And so, anytime we try to make a mass movement, I mean, you just look at every movement we've ever tried to do since Marcus Garvey, and anything that's getting paid, like the NAACP and other organizations. I mean, they do stuff, but what they really, really do, who's really getting paid off all them donations that come through? When you look at and so when you look at that, it's like, yeah, the way we got to move. We talk about revolution, and we're talking about getting ours. It's got to be finance. It's got to be an economic movement. It's got to be because the
Right.
way it broke us apart was through economics. And so the only way we're gonna get it back is to create our own economy so we can become self-sustained. So now we can take our rightful place in the community and
Come
be
on, brother.
for that. Yeah, because when I was growing up, we looked at the dope dealers. It was the ones we looked up to in the community as our business owners and whatnot. But I'm like, I bet those same skills could have been applied to anything else. And so that's what we got to get back to. And it's got to be an each one teach one type of thing, because if we try to do it in math, it puts us in position to actually be vulnerable to attack. But if it's okay, I know everybody that deals with somebody knows who they dealing with personally. It keeps our cells tight, so that we're not in, like it's not just one central. We can cut off the head and then everybody else falls apart. Now everybody's kind of got their own little cells that work interdependently. Now we can start forming change. But it starts within our own community. It starts with me teaching my son and him teaching his homeboys and our cousins and stuff like that, and banding together as a strong male presence in our own communities, in our own individual networks, and then expanding it from there.
But here's my question:
What's
how
up?
do you keep that weirdo out? Who is the
Like
weirdo
I said,
messing everything up? Who is the incel that was placed in there to who allowed the disruptor to come in? Because the disruptor looks just like us, right?
yes.
The problem with any movement is when we have an oppressor, they
Hmm.
use the oppressed to also oppress.
Yeah.
So how do we get that weirdo dude up out of here so we can get some real things done? And because this dude is here to cause dissension in the crowd. He's here to say to make people not take to make the people there not to take it seriously.
Yes. Absolutely.
How do we do
That's
that?
part of that. That's part of the art of. Okay, Tilly, I'm coming.
Hmm.
That's part of the art of war.
Yeah.
Like the art of war, there's always going to be that. That's been going on. You could even read the book, The Art of War,
Uh huh.
and that's in there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so we have to be strong enough and strong minded to be able to recognize that, so that like Jeffrey said, like so that weirdo can't come for the head and try to cut off the head. Like, nah, hey, you're the weirdo, man. Get up out of here. You know what I mean? Because the
Mm-hmm.
weirdo will start moving, and we have to pay attention to our people, because the weirdo won't move for the head first. The weirdo moves in the crowd first. You know, that was taught by ancient civilizations. That was taught that the CIA picked it up. FBI picked it up. Now, Jim Crow picked it up. That
Mm-hmm.
they figured it out. And now, since we don't have Jim Crow and slavery, now entities are picking it up and figuring it out. Because if you look at a lot of like LGBTQ, Me Too, cancel culture, blah blah blah, we got to get these men or whatnot. They're using, especially the LGBTQ, is using the same tactics as Jim Crow used to
Mm-hmm.
to keep people out. You know, and so
Yeah.
we just have to be able to identify that in our groups that Jeff is talking about, and say, hey, hey, yeah, I mean, this is not how to go.
Yeah.
And pay attention to who's around us.
Yeah. It's got to be a major vetting process, and the cells have to be small. It can't be just everybody. In order to come in, you got to know who it is. There's somebody got to be able to vouch for them. Like, hey, I know him. That's my boy. We came up. I know what time it is. Now, does that make it foolproof? No, but it's damn for sure better than just, hey, everybody, come on. This is what we doing. And it's got to be something that's done on the low, on the QT, on the quiet tip. Like I said, I share that with my son. He shared that with his partners. His partners shared it with their partners, and it might not happen in our generation, but at least we can start making a change.
Right.
So for the
Somebody
next,
got to fall on the sword, man. Somebody got to be the trailblazer. Somebody has to put in the work so
yeah,
the others can come off and finish what we started. Because we're not gonna, our life here is short, man. Some of us getting close to half 100. You know what I mean? We,
right,
but we're working harder than the younger generation because they don't have that work ethic that we have. They don't
yeah,
understand that this is serious business. That when you're trying to change, I mean, we're in a desperate state, man. Our women don't respect us, right?
hmm,
The world doesn't respect us, right? We 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 can't go that many places where we can say that we're safe.
right,
You know what I'm saying? We only got a few places where we can go and run and hide, and even there, it's not that safe because we don't have, because every black people are so tribal. Let's just call it what it is. We're so tribal.
hmm,
We're so easily not. It's easy for us not to just say, I don't want to work with you. I'm gonna do my own thing.
right,
When it should be easy. It's easier for other communities to say, listen, we need to join together because if we don't join together, we won't be able to do or have effect or have change or have policy where we're at. Look at the Jews, man, how they operate. They're the smallest on the earth,
hmm.
but yet they have so much power.
Oh yeah.
It's
They,
because they
White men.
convinced us to fight over concrete, my brother.
Come on
yeah,
now.
bro.
There you
Hey,
go.
y'all, I'm gonna stay tuned in, but y'all be easy though. My
Uh,
daughter bugging.
yeah,
Yeah,
brother.
Brother
man.
Walter, be good, homie. Good
Uh,
seeing you, man.
all
All
right,
right,
man.
Thanks
Take
for
care.
coming up, man. Appreciate you.
Take care, brother.
Man, 140 carats, man. What's up with you, Jordan, man? How you feeling, man?
Man, we here, bro. Just hustling these jokes, man. Trying to make some of myself.
There you
What's
go.
popping though?
That's right.
Man, we just here, man, talking about this misandry, talking about these women putting false expectations on us that they don't even put on themselves.
I ain't gonna lie. When you sent me that, I was like, "What is misandry?" I've never heard that term, my brother. I ain't even gonna lie to
Man,
you.
it's a
Yeah,
real
yeah,
term,
yeah.
man.
You turned me
It's a
on to it a
real
couple of
term.
weeks ago. I was like, oh, okay.
It's a real term, man. It's a real epidemic in what's going on in the Western world right now. There is so much misandry, so much hate on men. I mean, I'm turning on a lot of things like PSS, provider stress syndrome. I talk about it all the time, man.
Right.
We go out there and we make things happen, and we come home, and what do we get? Father's Day, a tie, some socks. There's nothing for us. There's nothing that says celebrate the man, but there's everything that says celebrate the woman.
Yes.
And when you make the woman the main focus and the men the less focus, It does something to the man's psyche. He grows up, and you dang right he's gonna have that chip on his shoulder. You dang right he might be a little bit more, you know, feminine than he's supposed to be because he's in his emotions, he's in his feelings. You got
Mm-hmm.
to understand, man. You know, especially me, man. I provide. There's nothing that my wife doesn't have that I
Right.
can't give to her. I do above and beyond. You know, but I also am blessed that I get that same. I get it reciprocated back through her service.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's not it's not fair anymore. It's not fun to be a man. That's why you have people wanting to change their sex because they're like, man, they think it's better to be, these young kids, I mean, we didn't grow up in the time, but you gotta understand where they come from. They're looking at like, man, the women's more important. It's what maybe I should put on a dress, right? And then you have women encouraging men, maybe you should put on a dress. Then you have women saying, you know what? Maybe you should get a sex change. Maybe you should identify as this. You see what I'm saying? You have women playing dress up with their sons when they should be playing dress up with their daughters.
Yeah, the sad
Instead of
part is
playing,
the
but
sad
instead of
part is
playing
you
dress
got
up with
brothers
their
out there
daughters.
preaching that too now.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
mean,
gotten
because
so bad. You be like, dang,
you
like
know
really?
why, man? Because we're so used to pandering. We're so used to giving these women what they want. We're so used to
Mm-hmm.
letting them lead because we've seen our mothers lead.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
We we're,
it's thrown
we're
off
not
the
used to
balance.
seeing strong black out. I mean, is it to the point where if you do see a strong black man, you think it's toxic masculinity right away?
Right.
I hate that term so much, bro.
It's crazy. It's just thrown out there. It's just thrown out there because it's a form of misandry.
Like it's bad
Man,
to be just a man and not go along with what society says is all right.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
like you seeing dress up tenfold now. Like, but again, it all boils back down. You take the father out the household. A lot of
Yep.
women are leading their households right now, and you seeing it tenfold.
man,
How
it's
many
crazy.
friends have you ever seen a friend play with dolls and his mom might be like, "Oh, he can play with dolls," da da da, but then the dad's like, "Hell no, you can't play with these
No,
dolls."
we can't.
Yeah,
No, we can't.
exactly.
Man, listen, I don't care if 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 you're a man that is really attracted to another man, you still know how to be a man. You're still a man first. You don't have to be overly feminized. You don't have to take on that role. You can still be who you were because let's face it, man. Homosexuality's been around since the beginning of time also. But they weren't emasculated men. They were going to war. They were warriors. They were spending 9, 10, 11, 12 months, 2 years, 5-year tours away from their family. And they were, getting in, I don't want to go too deep, but they were getting in how they were getting it in. But they were coming, but they were men. But we have a generation where, it's more like I said, the advantage is on the woman's side. So when you have a man growing up in that society, they tend to think, well, shoot, maybe I need to identify more with this because I'll get more advantages over here because I'm not worth anything over here. Because if you're a man today, you're worthless. You have no worth. You have to go out there and make yourself worth something.
I mean, look what Bruce Jenner did. That's an Olympic gold medalist, and he
Man,
changed it to a woman because he's in a house full of whores with
Woo.
more money than him.
man, because guess what? It's more popular. It's more fun to be a woman
You
than
mean to
it
tell
to
me he
be.
couldn't market that he's the fastest white boy on land? He had to change his sex, technically change his sex, change his name, just to
Yeah.
compete with a house full of nobodies, no talent.
Let me get this question by Walter because this is a good question. How many black men have a story of their mother beating them and people finding it comical, yet they don't find it comical the other way around? I grew up in a household like that. I grew
Yeah.
up in a household like that where my stepmother used to beat the crap out of me because she was upset with my dad. And my
Mm.
dad would have to come home. She would beat me from sundown till sun up. And my dad would have to come home from work after working the late night shift. And I'm still getting beat for hours. And he would have to come in and say, "Stop it. You can't do that. He's just a child." He'd have to explain to her, but I didn't realize till later why she was responding that way, because my dad was an alpha male. You're not going to just run. You're not going to get your way with my dad's going to. This is what's his standard. And because she didn't like the way my dad's standards was, she took it out on his kids.
Mm.
That's insane, man.
She tried to emasculate me early on, man, but my dad had to come in and rescue me and put that masculine energy back in me, man. Because there was at some point, when you're a kid, you're like, man, I give up.
Right.
I can't win. She's bigger than me. She's taller than me. She's stronger than me. I can't win. But if it wasn't for my dad coming in and saying, I got to separate from this, and now I got to pour back into my boy all the things. I got to put him in karate. I got to put him in things that he can release his aggression, because he's gonna snap. And I was so thankful for that, man. So thankful for that, man. Growing up, I didn't appreciate that, but as I got older, I was like, man, thank God. So that's a great point, man. I mean, this is the level of misandry that we're at, where women are double. They're so bent on double standards because the world is so much on their side that they don't want to give up that position. It's almost like white privilege. They don't want to give up that white privilege because they've had the advantage for so long that they're willing, even though they're not down with it, they're willing to turn a blind eye to it because they don't want to lose that little bit of privilege that they have.
You're not lying, brother.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose it. They're like, man, listen, man, I know I don't want to be treated like a black person, but I don't want to do anything to help the black person either. Women are our women feel the same way. They know they're wrong. They know what they're doing is not right.
Hey,
But
you know
because
what?
all the advantage, look at Amber Heard, how she's able to get away. She's not getting away with it, but she tried it. She thought she could.
Hey, I just thought about something, man. Now that you just tapped what you just mentioned. So, facts in the corporate world, black women are treated better than the brothers, correct?
They are.
Because of that preferential treatment, do you think that that contributes to the continual disrespect and disregard for brothers in general because they don't want to give that up?
They don't want to give that up, man. Man, listen, black women run the Democratic Party, brother.
Yeah, shit, they run DC. I know that for sure.
They run the Democratic Party, brother. They're judges now. Okay, they're leaders. They get to decide the fate of man. They get to say if you go to jail for 20 years or you go to jail for 2. And instead of them making it fair, they're locking the more of us up.
Yeah.
Black women are locking more black men up, some of it than even the white man. They're just helping it. Why? Because they were put in that position to do that.
And then it doesn't look bad.
And exactly.
Yeah, it looks like
they'll either hire a black woman or a black immigrant to deal with black people.
Right.
White people love Mammy.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Man, let me tell you how bad it is. Man, let me tell you how bad it is, man. They want to be. It's like, imagine growing. I mean, I'm here in Africa. I don't see black dolls. I don't see black Barbies. I see more white dolls, white babies, white toys. All this, the image of the white man. I don't see any image of themselves for the children to grow up and play with.
Really?
No.
Damn,
Matter of fact, you know what? They prefer the white doll over the black doll.
Wow. Yeah, I heard about like Christmas in Ghana and stuff like that, and how they celebrate our holidays. They go in more harder on our holidays than they do their own. And I was like, nah, like you serious? But now that now you bringing up the dolls and stuff, I never even fathomed the idea that they had white dolls and toys over there.
Man, I haven't seen, as far as the billboards, that's
Uh-huh.
black image. As far as the shopping centers, you see black people working, black people business, things like that. But there's still some indoctrination in the children where they can't
Wow,
even get their own toys.
that's crazy. But
They don't even have their own
that lets you
image.
know though.
I saw this. Check this out. I saw this TikTok where these white people are like, "I'm going to see the woman who raised me," and they're in Africa, and they're jumping on the back of this old black lady because, and she's just happy and she's just excited because she was their mammy.
Whoa.
This
Wow.
Nigerian woman took care of white kids, and the white kids came back and was jumping on her back, and she was caring, and she's the older woman. And these are grown kids, and she's parading around, and she's super excited, and she's super happy about it. And it looked like she was more happy to be with those kids than it was, and she had her own kids. Imagine having to take care of your kids by taking care of somebody else's kids.
That's nuts.
She had to fly over to UK or India, wherever she was, to be somebody else's mammy in order to provide for her own children back home.
So you think it's just she spent more time with those kids than her
And
own
more
kids
time,
while that connection's there?
of course.
That's
Man,
crazy.
I'm here right now, man, and the kids spend more. The children here spend more time at school than they do around their parents.
Wow.
They spend more time, and the school that they go to, they don't necessarily get to come home to. They have to stay at the school,
Oh, like boarding schools and stuff?
like boarding schools. So
Oh, damn.
imagine having a son or daughter, but you only see them twice a year, 3 times a year. What
Their
can
kids
you
gonna
pour
follow
into them?
whatever they learn in school. There's gonna be no
Yeah,
values nowhere.
what can you pour into them? What can you show them? They're learning everything outside of you.
And you see
That's
the
crazy.
influence that we have over there. You talk about they play with white dolls and stuff, so they just learning
Yeah.
basically the bullshit that we go through over here, man. So that's
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The same thing. But here's the thing: we got more choices than they got. At least we got black dolls. At least we can go somewhere and find that. We can go find a black coloring book.
Mm.
but over here, even with the choice, how many people really pick up the black doll?
Man, you still got the kids. I saw this video that made me cry. Man, we still had where they did a study. They said, which
Oh.
doll looks better, the black doll or the white doll? And they chose the white doll, man,
Mm-hmm.
every time. Which one's more handsomer? Which one's more beautiful? They chose the white doll every time.
Yeah.
You know why? That's the school system. That's why our children are being indoctrinated.
Yeah. The school system, the
Indoctrinated.
TV, yeah,
The black
the
Walter
television.
said the black father image has been kicked off the TV. Of course,
Yeah.
they got Bill Cosby off, didn't they?
But now they got blackish, where this dad kind of black. He ain't all the way black. He gonna do some, or they gonna bring back Fresh Prince, but then make everybody crooked.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
it's crazy.
Tom Viv
how
cheating,
dark is that? Yeah,
Uncle Phil dirty politician, Carlton doing coke. Come on now,
Oh, for
yeah,
real?
man. Oh
it's
yeah.
like that, my brother.
I never saw
Oh
because
yeah.
I don't watch
I've
TV. I
seen it.
heard
I,
about
I,
it,
I
but I
was
never
watching. It's
seen
on.
it.
It's
Like
on
what?
Peacock. It's on Peacock,
It's
man. I
like
was
that.
watching it, man.
They have
They went,
changed Fresh Prince all the
man,
way.
Oh, damn.
man. They went
Tell
in,
everybody.
man, and Will Smith
Yeah.
co-signed all that, man. You know, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. You know, it's so much. We watch TV. I honestly, I don't even watch TV anymore, man. Like that, man. I'm too busy. I got YouTube on my mind. I got other things going on. I'm more interested with getting my Twitter fingers battling these people online, social media, because I got time today, than jumping on and watching some propaganda. Watching some tell a lie vision. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I didn't got all that, I've been working 60 hours weeks for so long that I didn't deprogrammed all that. So I didn't decided long ago that my dream and my vision is more important than sitting down under some TV and getting a little bit of entertainment. I decided a long time ago that that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to do something big. I'm here to change my life. I'm here to build my family. I'm here to build my future. I don't got time to watch Housewives or VH1 or BET or any of this other propaganda stuff. And it's sad because anything that you see that is with black entertainment, it's got to be some, it's got to come with some alphabet crew. You know who's running it. Matter of fact, I'm convinced that all media is ran by the alphabet crew.
Yep.
All entertainment is ran by the alphabet crew. That's why they're pushing all this stuff on us. And I'm like, man, if I see if I see something inappropriate on TV on that I don't that shouldn't be on there, I'd rather just not watch it. It's like you can't watch an action movie and get just the action. You got to have this extra stuff on top of it. Like, really, is that what we're doing?
So yeah, it's either ran by the strongly influenced.
So it's like, what do you do, man? What do you do, man? So I told myself a long time ago, I'm gonna be the man that I want, that I want other men to want to be like. I'm gonna be that masculine. I'm gonna be that alpha male. I'm gonna be that guy that people say, you know what? I respect this dude. He has integrity. I wanna join forces. I wanna watch. I wanna be like him.
Word.
Because I can't find too many role models out here besides my dad that I can say I can't trust. I can't trust these pulpit pimps. Okay, I can't trust these.
Oh, you feel that way too? Thank God I ain't the only one who felt that way. Oh my God.
I know I got buddies who are pastors, man, and I'm watching them do. You weren't even respectable in high school. Now you changed, but then no, you still the same. You still cheating. You still,
Pass them the plate. We don't want the money that jiggle. Yeah. We need the money that fold.
Man, listen, I put something out on social media. I said, you know what? If you gotta ask for an offering during service, I already know you're not real. Just off the strength of that. If you gotta pass around the plate, if you gotta broadcast your event on TV and it shows the offering, I already know I'm done. Because you're supposed to have power and demonstration, not persuasive words. If you're the type of church that tells me 2022 blessings for 2022, so you got to give $2,022 so you can get your 2022 blessing in 2020. If you do another TD Jakes 1999, I'm Xing you out.
Yeah.
If I go to your service and it's more women than there are men, I already know it's a scam.
Or if you got to pay to go to the church, like Joel Osteen, where you got to buy tickets, like he about to put on a concert.
What?
If I got to buy a ticket,
you got to buy tickets to go see Joel Osteen.
Get out of here!
I put on everything I love, brother.
If I got to buy a ticket to hear the word of God, I don't need to be there, man, because I'm a firm believer that I can pick up the Bible and I can read it myself, and I do know the Bible. I got a bachelor's in biblical studies. Okay, I know the Bible. Matter of fact, if you want to be even real, I went to Bible college.
Right. Where was that at?
Let me tell you, when I went to Bible college, I found out that they teach you how to prophesy. They teach you how to harmonetics. They teach you how to ask for the offering. They teach you the business of the church, and I was turned off by that. I really was. I was like, man, you mean to tell me this is why y'all play the music at this time and y'all play it this way?
Oh, yeah, it's a science to it.
I mean, it's a whole science. I'm like, man, and then when I saw that the pastors that were trying to get their doctorate degree didn't know jack about the Bible. They were reading commentaries. When I found out I was the smartest person in that classroom, I graduated summa cum laude, and you a freaking pastor of a church, and you can't do the homework because you reading the commentary.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh man, this stuff is fake.
Hey, I don't knock what anybody believes, but I do think people use that as a some people, not everybody, but some people use that as a hustle in America.
Oh yeah.
It
Oh
is a
yeah.
hustle.
Yeah.
It is a hustle, man. Listen, I told my wife, I said, man, if we ever go broke, I'm gonna become a pastor.
Yo, chill, bro.
I mean, I just told her straight up. I said, hey man, if we ever lose money or go broke, just be ready. We about to pastor a church.
Pastor Moxie, ladies and
It
gentlemen.
it's about to go down, man. It's about to go down, man.
Hey,
Let me get on the usher board so I can put on them white gloves and sit everybody down.
Whatever it is, like, man, listen, man, we gonna get paid, man, because I know exactly how to say what needs to be said, needs to be done, and that's sad.
hey, brothers, y'all, you did, Max, you didn't touch on the plate quite a few times, and my queen, she didn't have my plate ready for quite a little bit.
Uh,
She done texted me like
uh,
3 or 4 times already, so I'm gonna need to jump on off. But I appreciate the time with you guys. Appreciate the fellowship with y'all, and I'm looking forward to the
for
next time.
sure.
No doubt,
Man,
brother.
hold on. Before you get off, man, go ahead and talk about Tantra Tuesday, man, because we're doing it for show this Tuesday, man. Go ahead and hit us up, man, and give us some key points. I'm sorry, Queen, but we got to. I just need them to do a little bit, just a little snippet of what we gonna get on Tuesday.
Oh
We
yeah,
definitely doing it. I need you to send me the information. I'm gonna promote the heck out of it. Man, Jordan, you want to jump on this? You want it, man? This brother got some. Tell us about Tantra, man. We don't know about it.
yeah. Well,
We don't know how masculine tantra is. We don't know. We didn't know. We thought it was some feminine stuff. We didn't know. Tell us
oh
what it is, man.
man, no. Tantrum. We're gonna go into, it's gonna be, it's gonna be a hot show. We're gonna go into like the basics of tantra, and like how that appears in our lives and whatnot, and how it can enhance you on multiple levels. A lot of times people think of tantra just purely from a sexual standpoint, which is a phenomenal byproduct of tantra. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just sort of like the results of being
I'm not gonna
living.
lie, man. I'm here for the sex. I'm here for the sex talks of the tantra,
This
man.
man is a
I don't know about
pervert.
the spiritual part, but
I'm into this.
I'm here for that part right there. I'm here for that withholding the seed and all. I'm with all
Yeah,
that, man.
yeah. So
I'm with all that.
it'll be tantra 101. We talking about seed retention and sublimating the energy to tap into our higher selves. Basically, becoming our godlike and then tapping into our godlike nature, and then how to use that and how to move in the world in that capacity to manifest any and everything that you want. And so, yeah, it's like I said, it's gonna be a hot show. It's gonna be a real hot show.
When you said it
And
was Tuesday?
yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, we starting off our Tantra Tuesdays. So yeah,
Tantra Tuesday, 12 p.m. sharp Eastern or Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We
right.
about to hit it up, man. And
I'm definitely
it's
gonna
about to
check
go
this out.
down.
I'm interested.
Oh
Man,
yeah, yeah.
man,
It's
you
gonna
want
be
to
off
check
the
this
chain.
out, man. You're
Yeah,
gonna
for
want
sure.
to check this out, man, because he's talking about some demolition man or some where you just channel your energy
Oh
and
yeah,
and
we're talking
he's
about
having multiples. I want to
different.
know what you
I'm trying to get the glow
you
like
whisper
Bruce Leroy
you
from this
whisper in
boy.
her ear
Oh yeah, no,
the
we
word.
be talking about energetic orgasm. Being able to channel in and tap into your woman from anywhere on the planet, and be able to
What?
move her into an orgasmic state. Yeah.
You could whisper in her ear, man. Like like there's like a word you could say. You could say like let's make a word like
That chicken
butterfly.
better be fried when I get home.
And then all of a sudden she like just gushing.
Oh,
You whisper in the ear and you say butterfly, and then boosh, she starts gushing. Man, let me tell you something, man. Brothers need to know this, man. We need to
Yes.
know how to take care of our women in all aspects. We need to
now I
make
have
sure
thought
that
about the
she
semen
don't
retention
go
thing. That's why I'm
no
interested.
way. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
man,
yeah. That's a
man,
game changer. That's a
man.
game changer, especially when you learn to become bipolar. Instead of being penis centered, you become prostate centered as far as your orgasmic state, and then that allows you to build your energy to the point where now, instead of, because I mean it's kind of sad, but like in the Western society, the average active sex lasts about 2 minutes. And so When you look at like, well, damn, like 2 minutes, and that's from from the time that the first kiss to the time like I'm through. And so the senior retention game is like a major piece, to say the least, as far as a man being able to step up and rise into his higher nature, and to be able to satisfy his woman on a whole different level.
Man, like I
Word.
said, man, we need to have
That's some player stuff
we
right
need to
there.
go
Boy,
exactly.
I'm
We
tuning
need to
in.
go back and we need to start teaching these men how to please their women so they don't go nowhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because like this
Nowhere.
right here, when I look at like a lot of times brothers be talking about half the problems they have, I'm like, and then I kind of like you kind of look at a person's physiology, like, oh okay, I read energy, and so I can already tell what time it is, especially if I see his woman and I hear her talk, I already know what's up. Yeah,
Oh wow. He said you
yeah,
can hear the
you already
woman.
know
I
what
mean, I can
time
tell
it
if you
is.
pleasing your woman.
And
Uh,
and, and pretty much a majority of the women that I counsel that have challenges and whatnot, it stems from that, like lack of being serviced properly in the bedroom, and it goes both
Shout
ways.
out your
It's not.
channel too, man. Shout out your channel and also
Yeah,
let
please
people
shout out
know
your channel so I can follow this brother.
about the
Mhm.
suicide the S word awareness if you can.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, our page is Quantum Wellness Ministries. As far as the actual, that's just like the as far as the volunteer program we do for S awareness prevention and whatnot. That's just part of our ministry as far as going out into the community, because the 10th largest um, death rate in the world is by death by personal. I don't even know another word for it, but that's yeah. I don't want to cancel the page out or nothing like that, but yeah,
Self checkout. We'll say self
Yeah,
checkout.
self checkout.
yeah. Oh yeah,
There
excellent.
you
Yeah,
go.
death
Let's check
death
out.
by self checkout, and so that's something that we just brought on board, as far as wanting to be able to bring that here to the Atlanta area and be able to tap in, because I mean it's something that doesn't get talked about enough in the community. And so we need more people to jump on board, and because a lot of times when people go through that stuff, that's just because they don't have nobody to talk to. They don't think nobody listens, or nobody's gonna understand, and nobody cares. And then it'll just be that one conversation that it means the difference between life and death for them. So yeah, and so that's just something that is near and dear to our heart and whatnot. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, we're gonna be we're hitting it on a major way though. But I'll be sending that information over to you this evening and tomorrow morning. Max.
Perfect, man. I'm gonna get it out there, get it out
And
to my
Moxie,
team,
you
get out to
get
my
it to
crew.
me, my brother.
I would definitely get it to you, man. I would definitely get it to you, man. Man, we trying to change. We trying to change lives over here, man. We trying to bring awareness. We trying to put the men up on game. We're
Yeah.
trying to help the men out in all aspects. I don't want y'all to just be financially savvy. I want y'all to be, I want y'all to be spiritually. I don't want y'all to be lacking in any area. I'm not trying to tell you what you should believe or what religion you should go into, but I'm just telling you there's some things out there that you may not know that can help you, that can
Oh
help
yeah.
equip you as a man. And I think Tantra, I didn't know about it. I think Tantra is one of them, man.
Oh
I
yeah.
think Tantra is
Yeah.
one of them, man. I think we
Like I
got to
said, it
get up
saved
on
my
that.
life, man. I mean, like literally, turned my whole life around. Divorced after my second divorce. I'm sitting there looking like, well, what's really going on? And it helped give me my direction, and really like help me put some wind, behind my sails, and it's been smooth sailing ever since.
And real quick, before I forget, man, talk a little bit about Purple Tea, and then I'm sorry, Queen, I'll let him go. I'll let him go after that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, no, that purple gold tea, that's a game changer, man. I'm so looking forward to it that we got that on board, and I'm
Oh
looking
yeah.
forward to having that back here in the States real soon. Yeah, man. Because I met that changed my life after accidents. Um, yeah, the car accident had that bulging disc in my back, actually in my neck, and I couldn't turn my neck, and then they told me I had to get an operation in order to get it corrected. And that purple tea, when I started taking it, the bulging disc went away. It was crazy because I was going to the chiropractor, and after I had missed like 2 weeks, and then he was like, "What side hurts?" And I was like, and I forgot. And I was like, "Oh yeah, my right." He's like, "Oh, well, it says here it was your left side." I was like, "Oh yeah, that too, it moved." He's like, "Oh, yeah, it moves sometimes."
Man, there's this tea that I'm bringing back from Kenya.
Yeah.
We're about to get the website back going again. It's about to be down there, ready made in Atlanta for y'all. It's about to be here in California for y'all. Man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you some tea, Jordan. Don't worry, man. We're gonna send you some of this tea, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm with
And
it, my brother, for
Yeah.
sure.
That
it's
purple
it's
tea is the
it's
business.
called purple gold tea, man. And I'm telling you, man,
Mm-hmm.
it's a game changer as far as health. It does something for your mental.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, it covers so many different things. It does something for your nerves. Does something for
Mm-hmm.
your blood. I mean, this is by far the tea, the king of all teas, the
Yes.
king of
Yeah.
all teas, if you want to call that. It all the positive in green tea, oolong tea, black tea, white tea combined into one. It's called purple tea, man, and it's only grown here in Mount Kenya at a high altitude. And when we
Mm-hmm.
bring that out here, it's going to be a game changer. We try to introduce it last time, but then the pandemic kind of hit and things kind of just
Yeah. Slowed up
our
the whole game.
distribution
Yeah.
got slowed down. But we're about to bring it back, man. It's about to be bigger than that. Matter of fact, we got the best. We're working with the original founders of this thing, and we got an even better deal than we got 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's
I'm
what's up.
excited. Yeah, man, I'm
Yeah. Let's
excited
do it.
about this thing, man. We're about to make it happen, man. And this brother right here, man, you know, it changed his life, and I just
Oh
want to
yeah.
see it change a lot more people's life too. I want a lot more people to get on to, we got to be healthy, man. We got to be. I mean, when we're dealing with modern women or any woman, man, we got to be at our best, man, because that's what they expect us to be. And I'm gonna be in an honest way. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with your woman expecting greatness. You should show her greatness.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah. I
should.
mean,
You should exemplify greatness,
to be
and
honest with you,
especially if that's what it takes to get back what we lost.
yeah. Yeah. Because that's what it's gonna
We
take.
got to do it.
Yeah. We gotta operate in our godlike nature if we want to take everything, take this back, and take
That's
back
right.
control, and and take control of our households and our communities. You gotta operate in your godlike self.
We got to.
It's gonna take a superhuman act of unity amongst us brothers to to come together and operate in our godlike selves, and then and then we can move like we're supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
none of this other BS even will matter after that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, man, don't let me keep you, my brother.
All
Yeah,
right,
you
bro.
gonna
Queen,
get this man. You can get a neck bone thrown at this man, Moxie. This man was supposed to eat 30 minutes ago.
All right, peace and blessings, brother.
Peace out, brother, man. Good meeting you, homie.
No, you too, Doc. Peace.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
we here, man.
Brother
So you,
Moxie.
man, I'm here, man. I'm here, man. Man. I'm glad you jumped on, man. We had Mr. Research jump on. I wasn't even expecting him. This is a new brother that just came up, and he came and hit us with some science. Walter's always blessing us, man. Jeffrey's blessing us, man. Man, I, I got, you know what, man? I got to hear some comedy from you, man. I got to hear something, man.
You
I
just
got to
gonna
hear.
put me on the spot? Why everybody do
Man,
this?
man, y'all go check out 140 characters, man. But I got to hear, he's a comedian, man, out of South Carolina.
South Carolina,
What I just
by way of Virginia,
Virginia. That's right,
standing
Virginia.
6'2" something.
Okay, okay.
Jordan B, baby.
Jordan B. Love it,
Yes.
love it. West Virginia, they got Jenkins Jones, West Virginia. My family is actually from on my mom's side is from Jenkins Jones, West Virginia.
Now, Virginia, West Virginia, we like rivals. We don't really claim them because they
Okay,
split off from us. But as far as West Virginia goes, it's like a 30-minute ride for me up the road. I'm in West Virginia.
okay. My family migrated to Ohio, man. They're mostly in Ohio now, but that's where they started at in Jenkins Jones, West Virginia, and then they migrated to Ohio.
Word. You ever
Right
been out this
there.
way?
I've been to Ohio. I've been to I don't well I could probably say I drove through Virginia. I've been to Ohio, New York. I've been on the East Coast a lot, man, but not as often as I would like, man. I mostly fly over it, trying to get to Africa nowadays, man.
I feel you, man. I feel you. How's the African thing treating you, though? My brother's been a minute since we talked, bro.
Man, Africa's treated me really, really well, man. I enjoy it, man. I'm just taking it all in, man. I'm enjoying the weather. Uh, I'm enjoying the people and their politics here. They're very political here. They have their leaders right now are that are running for president is Ruto and Raila. Raila Unigo and somebody named Ruto. And just hearing their politics, it sounds a lot like us. One of them sounds like Sleepy Biden, the other one sounds like Trump, right? So it's like everywhere you go, you can't escape this two sided partisan.
Democracy, you can't escape it
Yeah,
anywhere.
you can't escape it, man. You can't. It's all through Africa, man. It's like, you know, I was watching this other president, man. He had this weird hair. I think it was the Nigerian. They call him the Nigerian Donald Trump or something like that. Where he got the hair like Donald Trump. It's straight. Like it looks like a wig. Like he's wearing a straight wig, and he talks like he's Donald Trump. It's crazy. It's just crazy, man.
What? I guess
Yeah.
people look at us and see the crazy stuff that we do and think it's probably all an act. But really, over here, the scary part is nobody's acting. This is
Nobody.
who people really are.
Exactly, man. It really is what it is, man. So, man, what do you think about misandry, man? What do you think about misandry? What do you think about these that terminology and how much hatred they have for us? How much these modern women hate us today, man? What do you think about that?
I don't think it's a hate as much more as of them trying to replace us and do what we do. 'Cause, I mean, when I was reading the description of you breaking it down, I was like, I mean, men do this, but women do it, but they lack the quality that we have to make it look cool, which is the leadership. They just
Right.
take how do I want to spend this? Again, it's just them working off emotion and not logic. If they were to be more logical, it could somewhat work, but it's emotion with them. So it's never going to work. It's going to fail every time. But it's really hard. It's really hard to gauge it. Just being not familiar with the term, but trying to read up on it, seeing what you said about it. So I mean, I don't want to speculate too much. Just something needs to happen, man. I just hate the disconnect men and women have in this country right now. I
Well,
hate men
man,
aren't looked at as leaders or yeah, as leaders like we should be.
man, they took here the biggest thing that was taken away from us was our wealth and our family. You know, women, they look at our women are envying other communities right now because they think it's always greener on their side, right? But then when they go over there, they realize that, man, you still black.
Yeah,
You know, to me, it hurts my heart to see people. Not that there's nothing wrong with a black woman marrying a white man. I don't have any problem with them swirlers, man. If you want to
yeah.
get
Because
your
I got a
swirl
white
on,
stepdaddy.
if you want to get your swirl on, I'm okay with that, man. I have no problem with that. My mindset like this is, like what's that girl's name? Gabrielle Budo or whatever her name is, and she married that white man, and she receiving some backlash and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, let that woman alone, man. She's not a baby mama.
Yeah.
She got a man that put a ring on it. I'm for that. I got friends who are white who have black girlfriends. You know, I don't have anything against that. I'm happy for them. I'm like, man, you got you some chocolate, man. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I do have a problem with, this is what I do have a problem with, is when that person gets with that white man and they turn their back on their community. They start talking down to black men. They start pointing the finger like we're the problem.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, I can't get behind
That's
that.
where I have a problem where 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 you're someone like Kamala Harris and you're saying we don't need reparations
Or
because
Kamala Harris, who was giving people longer sentences, which was basically free labor,
yeah,
and nothing happened.
yeah, man, making money. I mean, if you're a black woman that's profiting off the death of black men, I got a problem with that. I really do. I have a problem with that, man. I think there's something sinister, there's something evil, there's a deep root of hatred for you to do that to your own people. because you gotta have a brother, you gotta have a father somewhere, you gotta have a mother somewhere that is the same color as you, and for you to have that much disdain, it's evil. It's just straight evil. You know, when I talk about misandry, it's like you can notice it sometimes in little things. Like you never seen her you never seen her wash one dish. You never seen her take care of the house like she should, but she'll come behind you and pick up your socks, clean, straighten your desk, clean up your area to make you feel like you're sloppy and she's not. But yet she's neglecting all these other things over here, claiming she doesn't have time because she worked when you work just as hard as her. I got a
Dog,
problem
you
with
just
that.
hit me in the chest with that. Like,
I mean, it's
no,
real, man. You see it in the
damn.
little things. You see it in the little things, man. You're like, where is this coming from? Why do you have to come into my space and try to make me look worse than you?
And I didn't tell you to clean my space. My space will be clean when I want it clean.
Exactly.
Don't do this and then don't clean yours. Yeah, my space is messy, but it will be cleaned by me. But why are you trying to have some sort of control over me with this?
And that's what it is, man. When I see a woman trying to have control over a man, that's when I look at, that's when I pay attention to misandry. Walter says, why is a black woman doing things towards black men being labeled as black women? It's not. There's no such thing as black girl magic. I have to debunk. There's no such thing. It's a form of It's a form of woman empowerment. It's a form of feminism. That's all it is. There's no such thing, black girl magic. Yes, we want black women to be scientists, and we want them to be. We want our women to be just as smart as powerful as us. But
We want the best for y'all,
we
definitely.
want the best. But we don't want you ever to think that you're supposed to lord it over us. That's not how it goes. I don't care what your education level is. I don't care how much you get into the bag. I don't care if you a PhD. The Indian woman, when she comes over here, she makes good money. She makes good money. But guess what she does? She takes it back to her man. Why can't the black woman do that? I Okay, great. You want to get a job, you want to have a career, great. But we can't neglect home. We still got to make sure our children are raised correctly, are raised properly. If we got to get a nanny, then we got to get a nanny. Whatever we got to do, we got to come together, and make it
Let's
happen.
let's not lie though. When most of these black women bring the money home, it's probably to a dude who gonna buy some Jordans and some weed with it. Let's just keep it real. That's probably
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
we know that happens, but that's because they're choosing lesser men. It's not,
Facts.
you know, it's
A
not
lot of women
anybody's
do that
fault.
though.
It's not any, the reason why they're doing that because they have more of a say so. You see, you see these young men moving in with these older women. Why is that? My dad taught me off the rip, you don't move in with no woman. The woman moves in with you. Because the moment you move into her house, you got to abide by her rules, and she's gonna be in control. She's gonna tell you how things go.
There's gonna be another mom, and dudes do not want that.
Yeah, it's gonna be the mama syndrome. You're gonna be the baby, and she's gonna be the mama taking care of you.
Giving you an allowance, telling you when to come to bed.
Yeah,
That's yeah.
all that stuff, man. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. So when I look at just the littlest thing, why is she always got to be right, even when she's wrong? That's misandry. Why is it that women will flat out refuse to help men, but they expect men to help them? That's misandry.
I'm glad you're explaining this to me because I'm the more you say it, the more I see examples or I've seen examples of what you're saying. So I'm
You see it in the simple things. When she says she doesn't put on makeup for you, she put on makeup for her. That's misandry. That's misandry.
basically you ain't special. Anybody could be in your position. I'm the prize.
That's exactly what she's saying. When she tries to compete with you and elevate herself above you, when she tries to be your equal, that's misandry. When she goes into the military and thinks she can take on a dude, that's misandry. Why do you even think that your body is capable to take that type of blunt force trauma? That's
Like when they were
when
trying to say Ronda Rousey could beat Floyd Mayweather, that kind of
come
started all
on,
this because all those women was like, she'll beat Floyd up. Come on now. Floyd is 50-0 for a reason. Ronda
man.
Rousey wouldn't stand 30 seconds.
Conor McGregor couldn't even beat up Floyd Mayweather. What do you make you think Ronda Rousey could?
Exactly. But it's this whole illusion of equality. Like, I understand some aspects, equal pay maybe, but there's not equal strength. I hate the argument of the NBA and the WNBA, and they always talk about the pay discrepancy, but WNBA don't bring in money. Why do we have to argue about money when nobody watches you? They put y'all on UPN, and that channel ain't even around no more.
Man, I mean, it's so sad that we have to pander to women. It's like, you know, you're upset with us because we don't want to watch women's basketball. Men basketball is more exciting, for real. And I'm not saying women basketball isn't exciting, man, because I've seen a couple of them play, and them girls, they get down, man, they can
They're
ball.
talented. You can't
They're
take that away
very
from them.
talented. You can't. But at the end of the day, don't we want to? Why are we watching men's basketball? Because it's physical. They taking flight. They dunking on you.
Yeah, I was about to say, keep it real. They're dunking. That's the only difference.
They're dunking. Man, they're doing some amazing. I mean, they're the big. I mean, they doing their thing. They doing their thing. Why are we watching? Why do you got a women's football league, right? But why you got to wear thongs to get us to watch you?
Facts.
Nobody's watching you for your skill, and you're probably very skilled and very talented, but they're watching you because you're wearing these. You got these two pieces on. You pretty much playing football in a two piece in a bathing suit.
But don't
That's what we're watching,
objectify us. We rather objectify ourselves. Don't do it. We'll do it.
man. I mean, at some point, let me say, I just look at it like this, man. I see way too many. Here's another sign of misandry. If she waits till after 40 to get married,
Now explain that one to me, brother. Because I'm only 30, so I'm not.
well,
I want to get this game early.
traditional women, they're not trying to wait to get married. They're trying to rush to get married. They're trying to rush to start their family. Why would you wait till you're in your 40s where the risk of having children is is higher? Why would when they say 34, 35, you know, it's a greater risk for some problems to be with the child. So if you're 40 years old and don't have a child, you're suspect to me. And I'm not saying you should be a baby mama because you shouldn't be, but if you're 40 years old with two, three kids and you're still not married or you haven't been married yet, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
But they'll never see themselves as a problem, man.
No, they won't, man, because
Most of these women got a secret boyfriend nobody know about called the government. Government paying for your housing, government feeding your kids. That's why any man that come around, they can't compete with what the government can do for you. Can you get my rent $38? Can't do that. That's why they talk down. That's what it all boils down to, man. And most women cannot accept the fact that that's how they get through with life,
this is a
with the
good one
government
right here.
handouts.
Walter says some women need to struggle for equity over equality and stop trying to tear down men.
Facts.
I mean, that's what men are to the modern women, men are the problem. But what they don't understand is not only are we the problem, we are the solution. And if you keep pointing out our problems, keep pointing out this, keep pointing out that, keep doing this, keep doing that, How you gonna get in this? Because what you focus on, you will get. If you always focus on the problem, you're gonna get more problems. But at some point, you're gonna have to focus on the solution. And the solution to most women problem is submit to a man, go up under his leadership. Stop thinking you're a 10 when you're really a 5 or a 4.
But
Stop
they've been
thinking
told
you're
not to do that.
Yeah, stop thinking at you're 5, you can get a 10. Stop holding out. See, a lot of these women are holding out for something greater that's never going to come. Here's the biggest myth of all. When I hear women say, I haven't met my soulmate yet, there's no soulmate. It's it's just get on the program with the man and make that becomes your soul. You want to make, there's no more virgins here. You've been imprinted on by so many brothers because you got so many bodies on you.
And we know that.
That's a fact. We know that.
I, Not to
Man,
get too deep, but I think what we're seeing, this is the first real social media generation. And we're not going to see the turnaround until we become much older. By that time, it'll be too late for them to realize. But right now, we're seeing the huge effects of social media. Everybody thinks they're better than what they are because of social media. The chicks with all the body counts get all the likes. We know you're not worth nothing, but that word spreads. So when you get 300-400 likes, we're not liking it because we like the picture. We're liking it because you're easy.
Yeah.
And we know you're easy, and we're hoping that you pick one of us. So this
Yeah.
whole social media thing, that's what nobody really puts into the equation right now. But it definitely has played a major part that's being missed.
Well,
in
social
all of
media
this.
is an addictive drug. It's just as addictive as sugar. It's just as addictive as crack cocaine. It's just as addicted as cocaine and Coca Cola. I mean, everything. You know, a lot of us. Let's be real. These entities are running us by our addiction.
Mm-hmm.
They know what we're addicted to. They know how to control us because they know what we're addicted to. And the same addiction, they gave it to us, so they have the antidote. They have the medicine. And they know that we need to get the medicine from them. So not only are we addicted to the toxins and things that they put into us, but now we're dependent on the toxins to help us cope because it's not going to heal us. We never get to the root cause to get healed from it. We just need to cope. We just need to get to the next day. We just need to get over the hump. We just need a little bump so we can get through the day. We need a little this, a little bit of that, a little bit of weed, a little bit of whatever to get through the day because we know that's the way they set it up.
That's why women post a picture a day, they get their likes, they get their fix, and then they go on about the day.
Yeah,
Then the next day they low again, they strung out, they scratching, post something else, get some likes. I'm good again.
I'm good again, man.
Social media is not a real place.
It's not. It's not.
But you can't
Women are
tell these
walking
women
around
that.
living in
You
their
can't tell
head.
nobody that.
No, you can't. Everybody want to clown for the gram. Everybody want to, you know, pretend like they got more than what they got.
You can
Nobody
go on
want to go through that.
TikTok and practice being a follower where you just gonna do the same thing everybody else is doing.
Man,
You
that's
can
all
go to
TikTok is, man.
IG, be half naked, or go to Twitter and be all naked and get a bunch of bottomless compliments that don't mean nothing. That's gonna boost your self-esteem, even though, in the words of Cat Williams, it's self-esteem. You should boost yourself up. I don't need compliments for what Jordan does. I feel in my heart, hey, I do some dope stuff, so I don't need nobody to boost me up. If one like or 10 likes, I'm still gonna do the same thing. But some people, uh, social media has really ruined us, brother. It really has.
It's a great tool. In any tool we get in the world. I strongly. I'm sorry to come to understanding what God meant. Good and evil. Good and evil. You eat from the tree of knowledge, you will surely die, because it's the knowledge of good and evil. Because no matter what, you can have the good, but you got to have the bad. It comes together. You can use
Always.
social media for good, and it can also be your downfall because it also can kill you at the same time. It's a shame that that's the way it is. It's like nothing is pure anymore.
Mm-mm.
Nothing is pure good. Nothing is pure. But that's why it's to the point where I also believe that there's no such thing as right or wrong. because right or wrong can change based on society, based on whatever we vote in and whatever we vote out. There's only decisions. There's only decisions that you make and decisions that you make right.
But a
That's
lot
it.
of people are going to make their decision based off what society does. And then you got
Oh yeah,
people like me and you, the outliers, where we're going to make a decision based on our principles. We could care less about how society feels.
right.
That's how I feel. That's why you see my show. I say whatever I feel like, and
You
I
do.
deal with it when it comes to it. But
You
ain't
do,
nobody
man.
argue with me yet.
I heard that. But you know what? You know what I want for your show, man. Because when you get monetized, a lot of your stuff is not going to be monetized. I want your stuff to be monetized. I mean, your stuff is going to have to definitely go on Patreon, man, because you be getting into it. You be talking that good stuff, man. But
I'm gonna put
when
it
we
like this, man. I'm not worried about monetized, man. My show is for the people,
that's
made
what's
for the
up.
people, and it's by the people. The people are gonna lift me up, man. I don't want nobody in my pockets. I don't want to give this company 30%, this company 50%. Nah, man. It's me and the people, and I treat it like I don't want it to sound bad, but like it's like a church in a way, man. I want to be y'all go spread this word that I'm giving y'all. I'm not in it for the monetization and all that. I'm in it to build a following, and this is how it should be. I think I see the world. I don't want to say all the way how it should be, but I see it definitely different than most of the people on social media.
Right,
So if you
right.
follow me,
And comedians though, you guys have that. You guys have that kind of that dark sense of humor to a certain extent. That just you guys will never see the world like normal people do.
I definitely don't, my brother.
You'll never see the world. But that's the beauty in it. That's the beauty in the art that you guys put out because it's like, man, I never looked at it that way. And you make us laugh. You make us laugh at the things that we're probably not even supposed to laugh at, but you do it in such a way where we're like, man, we gotta laugh. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's light.
Uh,
It's cheerfulness.
Well, one of my biggest influences is comedy, man. Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney will make you uncomfortable, but I've never heard Paul Mooney say something that's not true. That's
Okay,
how I
I
want to
gotta
be. Like you might be uncomfortable, you might not be able to digest everything I'm saying, but you're not gonna be able to say he's not lying, regardless how you
right,
take the joke or take what I say.
man. You guys get to tell the truth, and
That's what I try to do.
nobody can get upset with you guys because it's comedy.
But I don't want to use the guise of this is just comedy. No, most of the shit I say on my show, I don't even mean for it to be funny. People just laugh, but that's really how I feel. So I
Right,
might go back later on and turn it into a joke, but at the beginning, like, nah, man, I feel strongly about it. And that's why I just for the longest, like when I first did my show, I was doing it by myself because I'm just so opinionated in how I feel. Like I didn't need nobody to talk to, man. Y'all gonna hear this word. And now
right.
gradually people have seen that and I've been able to bring people in with me. So
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. And you know what, man? I'm ready, man. Whenever you need me, man, just bring me on the show, man. Whenever you need me,
what
man.
you doing Friday, brother?
Friday, nothing now, man. I'm open. I'm open.
The time is different. What time is it over there for you?
It's 12:38 a.m. right now.
AM?
Yeah, it's a.m. over here right now. Yeah.
So if I do a show at 10 at night, it'll be like 6 in the morning. You could be up?
6 in the morning. Man, I'll get up, man. I'll get up, man. I'll tell my wife, hey, I gotta do this show, man. I'm up.
I'll
I'll
bring
be
you
honest
in,
with
man. Because
you. I'll be honest.
I want my audience to see you. Because I respect you so much. I love when you have me on. Like
Yeah,
I
thank you,
love
man.
your
I
message,
appreciate
my brother. I want to introduce you to my audience. Because you like the kickback uncle at the barbecue. You just come, spit some
it.
game, maybe eat a link or two, and then you out the door. Ain't no you don't even say bye to nobody.
Man, man, I try to be precise sometimes, man. I try to, man, I try to do my homework, man. I try to give people value, man. I try to share my experiences that I know that have helped me and shaped me. And I just want to see my brothers get better, man. I just want to see I just want to see us do better as a people. And it's not even about color, man. I just want to see men come together, man, and do something big, because you know, even when we you know, the impact that Kevin Samuels had on a lot of people, man, it was across color lines. White people, Hispanic people, all men of all creeds, they were looking to this guy as he was the Godfather. And you have to appreciate somebody's work ethic and hustle where they can get outside of their community and touch other people. And that's kind of, I don't want, like I said, I'm not trying to be a Kevin Samuels or anything like that, but my message is more for men. And I definitely have to deal with my community first because I'm black, but I want to talk to the men because I know we're all suffering, man. We're all in the same gang, so to speak, man. We're all African, whether we want to admit it or not. We all got that DNA. We all got the first human DNA was African in our blood, and that's who we are. We all gonna bleed red at the end of the day, and we have to empower each other. We have to stick by each other, and the way that we're being just mistreated and tossed
Oh,
aside.
this dog about to wall out. Hey,
There we go. But we good.
I ain't gonna lie. I gotta run real quick. Brother, thank you for having me on. I'll be on your next show, I promise, but I gotta handle something at my house right quick. I love you though, Moxie. Shout out Too Much Moxie. Y'all keep watching my man's. My brother, I love you to death, man. I'll see you Friday.
All right, man. Peace, man. See you Friday, man. Yeah, man. I just want y'all to be better. I want us to be better. I have to deal with my community first. I want my community to be the best that it can be. And we have to tear down some stereotypes. We have to deal with, relationship. That's why I talk a lot about relationships and dating because a lot of this stuff revolves around that. Men go to work so we can please women. Let's be real. You know, Men go to work so we can provide for women. We do this. Men look good, because we don't care. We really don't care about how we look. Men get dressed up so we can look good for women. Yeah, we have to, do our stance with other men, and we gotta, we gotta side each other up, you know. But that's normal for us. But at the end of the day, if you see us putting on some gear, we're looking for the women. And it's sad that our women don't do the same for us. It's sad that you guys aren't dressing up for us. You're dressing up for you and your friends. And it shouldn't be that way. It just shouldn't be that way, man. So I talk a lot about provider stress syndrome. We want to bring awareness to that. We want to, give men an avenue to just see the right path. You know, misandry, misandry. Don't let that word escape you. Check for it. Listen to some of the points, the bullet points that I gave you, and you'll see it. You might be dealing with the person right now that is suffering from misandry. Misandry is a mental health disease, okay? You as a woman should not be hating a man, especially when a man is her protection. A woman should not be thinking that she's greater than her man, especially when if he's great, you're great. If you, just face it, listen, if a woman gets a high value man, she looks good in front of all her friends, all her family, all her community. But if a woman dates below her, she doesn't look good because she's really the man. Matter of fact, that man came up, not her. It's okay for a man to date below, but it's not okay for a woman to date below. You have to raise your standards so you can get with the man you want. You have to just understand that a man is more than his money. You really got to understand that. Hey, Walter hitting us with that, I got to put this up on there because this is good. Some churches need to be like 140 and stop being a slave to 5013C. Yeah, yeah. Y'all want them tax breaks, right? Y'all want that five. They want that 5013C so bad, so bad. when you just need to be worried about speaking the truth. You need to be worried about building the real church, which is the person. You know, I often look at the Nation of Islam and how they build up their men in that church, and it's amazing. You know, I know a guy who grew up in the church, uh, end up strung out on crack cocaine and heroin, and no matter what church he went to, they couldn't pray that demon out of him. They couldn't pray that crack demon about him. They couldn't pray that heroin demon about him. But when them Nation of Islam boys got a hold of this brother, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he's cured, but he hasn't failed since. They put something in that brother. They put some doctrine in that brother that made that brother strong. He walks different. He talks different. He looks different. Went from being strung out to being, I don't know what just happened. I just feel like something just went up under my leg or something like that. Or just ran by me. I don't know. But they put something in that brother. And whatever they did, that brother is forever changed. And he's a different person. That's the real, you know, we shouldn't be, you know, if we shouldn't be moved by persuasive words, we should be moved by power and demonstration. And that was power and demonstration right there. When you got this brother who was on crack and heroin and you straighten him out, that's power, that's demonstration. That's true discipleship. They were willing to do what others weren't. Well, they were willing to show this brother the way, not preach this brother the way, not tell this brother the way. But they were willing to show and pour into this brother and make sure he knows the way. So when he becomes strong, he can stay strong. That's what I want for this channel, man. I want you guys to be shown the way. I don't want to just talk to you and try to persuade you. I want to show you the way. I want to demonstrate the way. I want to make you strong. So, man, we did alone, man. Almost 3 hours today, y'all. Almost 3 hours today, man. It's 12:47, about to be 1 a.m. here. You know, I got my queen, my wife's. You know, she doesn't want to sleep in the bed unless I'm there, so I got her sleeping on the couch right here. So people might say, "Oh, I'm a bad husband," but you know, my wife loves me. I love her, and you know, I appreciate her. So I don't want her to be on this couch too much longer. I'm gonna let her get some sleep in a comfortable bed, and I'm gonna bid you guys a good night, man. I'm gonna bid you guys a good night. Uh, understand, understand this before I go. I can know I can be long-winded. Before I go, just understand this: misandry is not a myth; it's real. And if you're a man, you gotta recognize it for what it is and come at it. How do you combat misandry? By being more of a man, by being unapologetically a man. And if you're a woman, you have to understand that you know, that there could be some misandry and you could be suffering from some sort of misandry. If you feel like you need to compete with the man or be better than a man or you feel like you always got to nitpick or you feel like all your problems come from a man and none of your solutions come from that man, you might have some misandry. You might be suffering from that. And men don't like that. We want you to like us. We don't want you to hate us. We don't want you not to like us. But you got to understand who we are. So with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Um, Stay tuned, man. Tantra Tuesdays, Purple Gold Tea. We're bringing it back. We want you to be healthy, wealthy. We want you to be, you know, walking in your masculine at your full strength and your full power, not at half speed, not weak. We don't, we are courageous. We're not cowards over here. Men are courageous. We are not cowards. We're courageous. That don't mean we don't get afraid, but we step up to the plate. In spite of everything, we step up to the plate because that's what we were called to do. That's what we were born to. We were born to lead. So I want to thank you guys for watching the Too Much Moxie podcast. I am your humble host. Too much. And we are out. Peace and blessings, everybody. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button, right? Share this broadcast. Hey man, I think we did a phenomenal job, man. I think we did a phenomenal job. Peace and blessings to everyone out there who watched. Thank you guys for the comments, the likes, the shares. We appreciate you. We love you over here. And until next time, peace.